What's up, everyone? I'm GKB, and I am also known as the Governor, and your host for tonight's exciting episode of the Console Corner. On last week's show, we had a great time answering your questions. If you haven't seen that episode, go check it out, but please wait until after this show. On this week's show, we will be talking about games, news, and maybe even some Comic-Con. It's going to be a great show. I'm really excited about our topics. I can hardly contain myself. Whoa. Oh, whoa. But first, before I explode with excitement, let's introduce our great panel of epic gamers for this week's show. Starting off with Mr. Destiny Nerd himself, Brutal Knight. How's it going, bro?
Oh
my gosh, bro.
Yes.
I'm doing fucking fantastic, and I'm about to explode with excitement myself. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody watching? Everybody on the panel? Super stoked to get this show started. Cracked my next fresh beer for the show, so let's get going.
Sweet. All right, next up we have who I'd like to call Mr. Media with his crazy gaming voodoo, Mr. Bear Claw Gaming. How's it going, bro?
It's going okay. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight, guys. Appreciate that.
Awesome. All right, next up we have a gamer who will put us all to shame in the Iron Banana, Miss Lady Foxfire. Dude, she was like really owning people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't know how to follow that. Yeah.
No joke. She's a monster.
Next up we have straight from San Diego Comic-Con, Mr. Asthmatic. How was it hanging out with all the cool comic book people?
That's right. It was unbelievable. And hanging out with all the Xbox people was an honor and a joy as well. And we will get into it in just a couple minutes.
All right. And last but not least, we have the First Lady of Xbox, who writes for ICXM and is the #1 community supporter.
Oh my god, don't even. I'm going to cut you off right there. No.
She takes care of all of us.
No.
She tweets us all out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So how's it going, She-Wolf?
Drives me bonkers when you say that. You know, I was trying so hard not to laugh when it went quiet, because I'm like, now someone just needs to burp or fart, and everyone will start laughing before the show even starts.
We'll break it, yeah.
I know, it would have been great. I was like, yeah, okay.
You should have done it. You should have done it.
Oh, I kept laughing. It's like when I look at that little friggin' ninja cat that shakes, I just can't stop laughing.
Oh.
Nice. All right, so everyone in the chat on Twitter, on outer space, wherever you are, please go ahead and hit us up with your questions. We'll be taking a few to talk about at the end of the show, like we always do. I want to thank everyone who comes out to the community game time. We had an absolute blast playing Battlefield 4. I think we even got like Tim Dog hooked on that, so I think he's going to be there every week now going forward. Yeah, I hope everybody had a great time. Even Bear came out. That was freaking awesome.
Yep, it's a good time.
Yeah, he's freaking super good at Battlefield. Kind of jelly right now. But yeah, so let's go into our topic we always start with every week, and that's what we played this week. I know I had a frustrating week with games, but let's see what everybody's been playing. Let's go ahead and start with Bear.
A lot of Hyper Light Drifter in the past 24 hours. It just came out. I'll have a review on it probably on this show next week for us to talk about it. It's pretty good. Other than that, dabbling in We Happy Few today, and a lot of Rainbow Six Siege.
Nice. What about you, Brutal?
I too have been struggling with some fucking games this week, and we'll get into that later. But
I know which one you're talking about.
grabbed a couple other indies, picked those up, played some more Destiny, and that's really about it, man. I've just been trying to build up some more indie inventory.
Sweet. What about you, She-Wolf? Come on, bring excitement. Just throw it out there. Let's go.
Bring it.
What?
11.
Playing Battlefield 4, and oh my god, do I suck at that shooter. Oh my god. But in my defense, you know, I was constantly like inviting people, so people were just coming up and shooting me while I was just standing there. So I guess in all, it kind of levels itself out. Playing Lost Sea. Go check that review out. It was a very interesting game, needless to say. Also playing that Iron Banana with, Gamers Knows Best and, GKB, Fox, and Brutal and
You said
Mooch.
Gamers Knows Best. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
That
Oh,
banana.
Who that
I
be?
am
Who that
drinking
be,
beer,
really?
People, I am drinking beer, so please refrain from I refrain from anything I'm saying.
Wow.
Anyway, calm down.
Oh,
A
my
sentence
gosh.
in
You
some
guys,
language.
I've beered like
alright.
6 drinks already.
I believe she has 2 cups.
She two-fisted.
Impressively, I've only had one beer today, so.
don't spill it, sis.
On that note, oh no, it's a bottle, so I don't have to worry about spilling it.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, don't spill
Because all
this time.
bottles are spill proof.
You got that child-proof bottle.
I need one of those.
Sippy
That'd be
cup.
awesome.
Oh my gosh. All right. Moving on to Fox. What you been playing? Bring it.
That Iron Banana dough
Yeah.
with everybody.
Non-stop. That Iron Banana.
Her,
That
her
banana was amazing. So yeah, playing that with Mooch and you, South, and everybody, and Battlefield 4 with my peeps and with you guys. So I love Battlefield. I can't wait for Battlefield 1. And Life is Strange on the PlayStation 3 because I was like, oh yeah, it's free everywhere, so let me download it over there. And I love that game, so I'm gonna download it wherever system I can.
Sweet.
And yeah, and then I kicked it old school with some Sonic Ultimate Sega Collection, and I was playing
Dang.
Streets of Rage for
Oh,
like
what?
2 or 3 hours.
Oh,
So
whoa.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So that was pretty cool.
Sweet. All right, Asthmatic, hit me. What you play,
Wow.
man? What you been doing?
Talk about a tough act to follow right there. Jeez, I played blah blah blah. Wow. All hail Lord
I
Salazar.
always have a list.
So we did some Battlefield 4 in the game night on Tuesday. Drove down to San Diego, got to play some Battlefield 1 fresh. It was on a PC, but that's a absolutely amazing game. Little Gears 4, played some Recore. It was unbelievable, as well as another new game that I will get to in the Comic-Con segment. But it was a super fun week. Obviously, didn't get to play any video games at home because I was gone the whole time, but did still get to play some games down at the show.
I'm so jelly of you right now.
Yeah.
So what have I been playing? I played the Lost Sea, played a bunch of Iron Banana, getting destroyed by Fox and everybody else. Had a blast. Played Battlefield 4. I want to say that's pretty much like my first time playing multiplayer. Played through the campaigns and stuff, but had a blast. Super fun. Played a couple more indies I'll talk about later. Yeah, that's about it. So let's go on to our first segment of the night, and it's going to be She-Wolf's News. Take it away, She-Wolf.
And today on the gaming no.
I was like,
You
yes.
should have
I'm
totally
all
went
in.
with that.
Alright, so today on the gaming news, we got Nintendo upcoming NX will be portable, handheld console, and detachable controller. A number one source has confirmed. What? What do you guys think?
Go for it. I love the sigh.
Hello,
Nintendo.
people! It's the
I'm trying to-
Wii U all over again.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is what GKB are having a discussion about this today. All right, so you have portable console, right, with detachable controllers, one size. What's this thing going to be looking like? Is it going to be Wii U size? Because the thing is, you have to compensate the size for those detachable controllers with the size of the screen. So what screen size are we looking at? And the biggest thing that I thought of that my concern is battery life of that portable console. Like, where's that? What's happening with that? Are we looking at 3-4 hours of battery life? That's going to be the main driving issue with this thing is going to be battery life. If they're really pushing for this more mobile platform of gaming to move forward with.
Yeah, like it's pretty interesting too, man. Like when they said like detachable controllers and stuff, I was like, what does it even mean? So I guess you could take it apart and take like the one piece with you. So then when you come back home, you can put those back on, I guess, and use it as like a regular controller on your TV. Sounds interesting, but I'm worried about like with kids and stuff maybe losing it. like are losing parts of the pieces and stuff like that. Also, they're gonna be they're using like cartridges with like 32 gigs of space, so that's gonna be interesting. Hard drive space, is it gonna have extra space on it? Can we upgrade that space? Downloadable games, I don't know. I think one of the cool parts is it's gonna have the Tegra processor from NVIDIA in it, so that's going to be like an 8-core CPU with like a 256 core GPU, I believe, from the Maxwell architecture. So that's going to be a decent one. You're looking at probably like 1 teraflop of power, so still a little bit lower than the PS4 and Xbox One. But you know, they're going for a different demographic than like us hardcore gamers that want to be on the bleeding edge of like graphics and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Building. Sorry.
You go. No, you go.
Okay. Well, building off of what you're saying too, unless they have something in addition to that 32 gigabytes on the disc or on the cartridge, I think that's going to be indicative of what kind of textures we can expect in the average game, right? Because if you look at a lot of AAA games on Xbox One, we're looking at 45 to somewhere like 60, right, for some Halo games. So I think that gives you an indication of maybe what you can expect. You know, where your mindset should be and your expectations for what Nintendo's going to do next year. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you look at their like games that they do now, you know, it's very colorful, not super high polygons, not super ultra realistic. You know, it's very kid friendly type stuff. So, I mean, I could totally see like the 32 gigabyte space being enough, but I'm kind of still worried about like, I mean, they've talked about like having third party support and all that kind of stuff, but these like, I don't know, these specs kind of still worry me, and how much third-party support they're actually going to have to run some of these newer engines. Like, I don't think Frostbite could be able to run on this.
No.
It's a long.
Well, what I'm thinking
sure.
is, all right, check it out. So NVIDIA Shield runs with the Tegra as well, right? The Shield is running a little bit better than last gen consoles, the 360 and the PS3. So, but
we're talking about old game engines too. Like they were playing like Doom 3, which is just, you know.
Well, that's true. They were running the
tech engine.
So my question is, piggybacking off of this conversation, what kind of like resolution do you think we're going to be seeing in most of these games that they're putting out?
720p maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess for newer games, I would assume so, because they were pushing those older games like 1080.
Did you see that? Did you see that they're not going to have backwards compatibility?
Yeah, I also saw that.
Oh, yeah.
That is such a not Nintendo move in my opinion.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
surprised by that. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
Plus, you know, truthfully, when it comes to their cartridges and stuff like what you guys were saying, they don't have to have so much space because their textures are not realistic, to be honest. Like, their Mario games, their Splatoon, even, like, that's a shooter, and there's no realistic to it at all. So their textures don't have to be well detailed. So, you know, they may not need a lot of space. But when it comes to the NX and the fact that it has a detachable controller, I don't understand why they just didn't actually focus on creating a Nintendo DS that could just hook to a TV and, you know, your screen from your DS goes to your screen. Like, why didn't they just focus on creating, like, the next big handheld instead of trying to create a platform that, once again, can be turned into like a handheld? I just wish they would go the opposite direction and take a handheld and create it into where it could be like, you know, go attached to your TV instead of the other way around where it's a console that goes to a handheld.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know what to say about Nintendo besides the fact that they do what they want to do because they think they're being innovative and they want to try something that nobody else is doing. So that's why they keep pushing it even if you don't like it, because they think the next iteration of it is going to be better than the last one. So I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of their mentality. They want to be like leaders, not followers type kind of thing. I get that.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't feel like this is a console now. I thought this was going to be on par with the Xbox One and the PlayStation, just with different games or something like that, and obviously with their own gimmick. And this doesn't even feel like an actual console to me anymore, which is weird and confusing for other consumers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was working all day today, so I didn't do much besides skim this. Did they touch on if there would be a performance difference between when you're, let's say, riding the bus to work, and then when you hurt your TV, did they talk about that at all?
No, like
No.
as far as like if you're gonna have like if you
No.
put it into the dock or whatever, it's gonna give you more power essentially.
Yeah, well, because
No.
the only reason I'm curious is because handheld, right? Like handheld consoles, especially even phones, have gotten very good at running good graphics in the past, several years. But it still doesn't stack up to a console. So if they're targeting impressive mobile graphics but not impressive console graphics, I think that's kind of what we can expect, right? I keep talking about this expectation thing, right? Like if it's mobile first, don't expect it to be a powerhouse. Like there were rumors, in the past few months, it's going to be more powerful than the Xbox One and the Neo and all this, and I just doesn't look like that. It's not pointing in that direction.
Mm-mm.
No.
Here's
Well, it's like every time they drop new info on this thing, it always raises more new questions and answers old
Yep.
ones.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, more like random, like aimless information on the NX. Like,
Yeah. We're really
Right,
gonna know
right.
like when they go ahead and like announce this thing, show it to everybody, and then show some games on it, like Zelda and all that kind of stuff playing on it. Then we'll know for sure. But
Well, that's another thing. They're taking their sweet ass time because they're worried that that's going to affect Wii U sales for this Christmas, and that's why they're not saying anything or confirming any information.
yeah.
well, but they're
that's
also kind of hurting themselves with that, though, because
Yep.
the lack of information that they give, it's like some people are going to say, like, well, if you told me what it was like, then I'd be able to make an educated decision on whether or not I was going to want the NX or if I'm going to want the Wii U. It's the
Right.
same thing. Like, it's the wrong version of what Xbox did with their two consoles, because it's like, hey, here's two consoles. This is kind of what they do. They're different. So now you know what they both do, and you can pick if you want to wait next year for the Scorpio or buy this one right now. But Nintendo's like, yeah, there's something else. Like, well, but that doesn't help me, except make me more confused.
Yeah. Exactly.
It seems to be
Not
like
very consumer friendly.
it seems to be like Microsoft and Nintendo's thing this year is like just confusing us a little bit, not having the right messaging. But hopefully they work it out.
Anyways.
I love that enthusiasm.
We're kind of like
Moving
dying.
on, I guess.
Good thing we
it's
started with
just-
this one.
My issue still comes down to the NX. There's so many different interpretations of what exactly it is. It's not a handheld. It's not a console. It is a console. It is a handheld. Like it's just
It's a
already
hybrid.
come out, but it's not even a hybrid because technically that's what the Wii U was.
Well, but that's like Nintendo's like deal right now is like blurring those lines of
But
like it's
that's,
not
like-
necessarily one or the other. It's like a console you can take with you, and then at the same time a mobile
But
thing that you can plug
this
in.
is where my whole point comes in. They have the Nintendo DS, which they should have focused on that instead of trying to create some console that they want into a handheld or whatever it is that people in the chat want to correct me on, whichever. I'm trying to get at the fact that they have the DS. Why not focus on just creating that to be the best that it could be instead of trying to create some console that is supposed to replicate the Xbox One and the PlayStation when they're not even actually doing that?
Well, maybe they're trying to. Maybe in the future here they might be stopping DS production and just have, hey, this is going to be our all-around platform for everyone. Kind
Well,
of thing.
and
See that
the 3DS is old
lot
now,
of-
right?
Problems. Well, they're
Yeah.
constantly coming out with new style though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still
Yeah,
like
a bigger one,
but I think they've already milked that whole thing
Yeah.
as much as they could, knowing that kids are already loving and moving on with the whole mobile and tablet and phone thing.
Yeah.
So, I think they've already done all they could do. And obviously, there's still people out there that love the handheld and all that. I mean, I have my 3DS and I buy digital games on it. But, obviously, I play Pokemon Go, so that's more convenient. I have my phone on me at all times. So,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. It's just everything with the Nintendo is just confusing. That's all I'm gonna
Yep.
say. It's
That
kind of
should
in
be
one of
their
those
motto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm going to move on to the next topic
Let's do
in
it.
the news, and that is back in March, Microsoft announced that it will allow generic
Crossplay?
crossplay on the Xbox Live network. Now, some major developers are stressed that any technical
Issues.
I was going to say hurdles to this cross-platform has been overcome, but they're still waiting on Sony to actually say yes or not. So what's everyone's thoughts on that?
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I was saying before is like, they just don't have any reason to do it, which ultimately sucks for all us gamers, because I think it's good for gamers and gaming in general. It'll open up the player base for everyone, which would be fantastic, but Sony has nothing to gain, so why would they even want to do it at this point?
Right.
The only thing they would gain would be their fans' respect, or, you know, showing the fans that they'll give them, you know, something they ask for if they push for it enough. But from what I'm noticing, there's more Xbox people, you know, talking about it than PC people than than PlayStation people that I know. They're kind of like, whatever, you know, if we get it, we get it. But I think they should push for it to let PlayStation know, look, this is what we want, you know.
I agree.
Power to the people. Speak up. Let your voice be heard.
I mean, I'm okay with it. Bring it on. I'll go against some PlayStation folks.
Yeah, I'll go against anybody. PC doesn't matter. I don't
I'll
care.
play Destiny against them, Battlefield, Rocket League, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I'm all about it. Anybody else?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting new idea of competitive multiplayer. It's not just oh, can I beat you in this game? It's like, well, we're on different consoles, and so it's like I'm almost representing Xbox. Like you put on that jersey now when you go, and when you're like, all right, go beat the PlayStation guys. It makes competition in PvP games more fun and interesting. But I should say it could, if we could get this running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Actually, they could do it right.
Yeah, I think overall, I think it's it's a pro-consumer move. I think Sony should just come on and do it, but they're going to need that motivation to do so. And I think it would help out the player base in the long run. Probably keep some of these games alive a lot longer.
That's what that's where my whole thing with this goes, is the fact that it would actually keep those multiplayer games. Speaking of, just for example, going back and playing, say, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the servers are so dead that it's hard to find matches. But if we had crossplay between all three systems, whether it's Sony, PC, or Xbox, you have a bigger variety of servers and more people on those servers, because you're still going to have those fan bases from each system on it. And I think that would be very beneficial to any of these multiplayer games. Even look at Overwatch. I'm not saying that's dying right now, so don't jump on me for that one. I'm just saying, eventually in
It's a
time,
dead game. I'll say it.
eventually in time, the servers will start to slow down. But if it had that crossplay, then the servers would actually live out a little longer than what they were intended for.
Yeah, I mean, and also if your friends play on PlayStation, PC, or Xbox, you can play with all of them, no matter what their preference was. So that'd be kind of a cool thing too. Sweet. Yeah. Anybody else?
Well, then it kind of comes down to, though, what about speaking of servers? Would they have to kind of agree, all use the same servers, or would they still be able to use
probably be up to the developer.
Server bases, or
the developer would probably say,
they have
"Hey,
to meet
this is what I
somewhere
want
in
to
the
use."
middle.
Yeah, or the developer just chooses what they want to use, and hey, it's our game.
That could be a middleman.
could that possibly make it harder
Yeah, for sure.
would that actually be a cause of it making things harder for them to do this crossplay? Is that where this issue could actually be coming into play?
The servers itself?
Yeah.
No, because if you think about it, game companies now have to maintain 3 server sets to run the game for different platforms as it is. So then if you eliminate that, they all can run off one server base. That's less they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling out updates
Especially-
becomes easier, maintenance becomes easier.
Exactly. Everything becomes easier. It's just one platform to deal with.
Especially that right now we're actually hearing from the developer, and they're saying they're ready, and it's PlayStation that's holding them back. So right now, no, we're just waiting for PlayStation.
Yeah.
But if it came up, to other games Call of Duty and stuff like that, and PlayStation was all in, then yes, then we would be waiting for Activision to jump on board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
another thing I was gonna point out is the whole player, the online. What do you call it? The player base. When PSN people, they don't play that multiplayer that much. They don't have a lot of PlayStation Plus memberships out there active. And from what I know, PlayStation folks, they love to play single campaign and stuff like that.
And at this point, it's Sony should do it, because at the very least, they're only hurting themselves in terms of their PR right now, because they've got everyone else on every other seat at this table is go, do it, I'm ready,
Yeah.
flip the switch, and they're like, nope.
And I think as soon as one of these games actually do it and accomplish this, I think you're going to see like the floodgates open with everyone else as well. Like they're just going to all do it. So.
Yeah, they're only going to make themselves look worse the longer they wait from here on out.
Agreed. What else we got, She-Wolf?
I was going to say, if everybody's kind of had their fulfill on that topic, I will move on to the next one, which is the Xbox One S release has finally been given for the 501 terabyte for August 23rd, which is only a month apart from the 2 terabyte S. So what is everyone's kind of opinion on that?
Yeah, that kind of like wraps up what we talked about. We had like the first half of this conversation last week, and it's like, well, we'll kind of see how much longer it is for it, and this is awesome. Like, this is great. Like, it feels like way less of a cash grab, where it's just like, here's both of them now, right here next to each other, and
do you think though it's gonna actually hurt sales of the 2 terabyte? Like,
nah. I don't
like
think so.
would they have been smarter to have just actually released them all at the same time than to actually put them a month like apart?
No, because I think the hardcores are going to grab the 2 terabyte because they're not going to be able to wait, like me. And then it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you want to wait for a couple weeks, as long as you're buying the system, like Microsoft's not really going to care. If you buy, a billion, like 500 gigs, you're still buying the Xbox. You're still going to get that software for that thing. It's like that's the ultimate goal.
Here's what struck me like the most. So look at the price point for the 500, right? What is it, $299?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can trade your one in right now for or you can buy a brand new one for $249. So they're only bumping that price by $50, and you're getting a game bundled with it. That's
potentially two if you get the Halo one.
Yeah, if you get the Halo one, you get Master Chief and Halo 5. Like, I think that's like crazy right there. Like,
which was going to be my next part of this. Little part, but that is okay. It was a perfect segment into.
Stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, well, I kind of tried to put it into like 3 different little parts, and well, you just pretty much covered all of it in one question. So
Yeah, that's how we do it here.
Got you covered.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yo, big shout out to the 70 people watching us right now. You guys are freaking awesome. We love you.
Woo.
Hey, what's up?
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys are really great.
Wow, the enthusiasm from
Wow. I'm so dead.
I love all you motherfuckers.
Well, see, this is where we need like the little gifts because then we could put something funny and everyone would laugh. But we can't do gifts on here, so sadly, you'll just have to get our voices.
So Google Hangouts. I hope your tech support team is
Google Hangouts, give me gifts. Anyways,
but I have to say, like these bundles though, like I love the packaging of these new consoles. Like we were so down on it like months ago about like the whole green thing with just like this band for a game, and now they have like half of it just like with Madden and Halo and all that kind of stuff. Man, it just looks so dope.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about that.
There's like big bold like displays like look awesome against that just all white.
Yeah.
On the it looks excellent. I agree. The Madden one's really striking for some reason,
for sure.
Which is like, I mean, you get used to the Madden cover. Every Madden cover is just a variation of the last one, but this one I agree with you. The packaging looks excellent.
I'm happy that everybody gets to finally have a date because they've been waiting and they didn't know which one they wanted to get, and now people that don't care about buying a hard drive, they could buy the 2 terabyte one, and then people that actually already have a hard drive, they could just upgrade and go get that 500 gigabyte. So I'm happy for those people.
well, especially when a lot of things were kind of leaked that they weren't going to come out until like closer to the holiday. So to actually hear that they're coming out now, and what also is really nice is the fact that this game isn't just coming with like Madden and Halo 5, it's also coming with the Master Chief Collection, so you're literally getting the whole entire Halo's like series. And Madden 500 gigs for $299. Like that is amazing for a bundle.
Steal.
For sure.
sure.
Why are you
And
not
no
buying this?
power brick, people. There is no more goddamn power brick.
I just tweeted some random chick on Twitter on accident because I partially typed She-Wolf. Somebody has a Twitter handle. Somebody's Twitter handle is @SH. Get out of here, lady. He has 26,000 followers. Here. I'm checking this out on console.
Oh, that's so funny.
Wow.
Awesome.
You're like, what the fuck is this guy doing right now?
Actually, that's funny because so many people, this is a little off topic, but that's okay. People actually like randomly tweet GKB and they put in just @GKB and then it goes to some random person because that's not his like thing. So
Oh, everybody wants me to change it, but I can't. I can't change it.
no,
to that.
someone took it
Someone's already
and
taken it.
they don't use it. So Twitter, if you're listening, recycle @. You really
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
Xbox is doing it. I mean,
Yeah.
5 years is a long time, but
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Whatever.
Anyways,
there's somebody out there who has the asthmatic gamer tag, and that guy hasn't played since like the beginning of 360. So I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, get that.
Damn. Should
So-
already have that. Hell.
all right. Well, before we move on and
What's up?
before we finish this whole thing, I actually want to ask you guys, do you think that the fact that the Xbox One is being dropped to such a low price is actually going to hurt a little more for the fact that when you go to trade in your Xbox, the value of it is not going to be as high as what we would actually like it to be? So when you trade it in for the Xbox S, you're not getting as much.
Well, but are you talking about like trading it in to GameStop? Because isn't Microsoft is also doing their own trade-up program? So we don't know what the value is going
I
to be.
was going to say, nobody actually knows what that actually is yet.
But is that
so
trade-up program for the
or-
Scorpio or the S's though?
I see. That's the thing. I don't think it's actually been officially. I think it was just rumored that there, this was in works, but nothing ever actually came about it, though.
Yeah.
Which that makes me think it's going to be Scorpio, because
Scorpio,
obviously if it was S, they'd have
it around.
data on it, seeing as though that console's coming out in like weeks.
Totally
Yeah.
agree. 100%.
So that'll probably be Scorpio.
For me,
So
Because-
then it
trading.
still goes back to the question of, do you think the fact that the Xbox One dropping to what it is?
hell no. Because I'm still getting the freaking 2 terabyte, and I'm getting the Gears, and I'm getting Scorpios.
No.
It doesn't matter to me.
GKB, can you make
I
it
think-
rain on me with some of that cash in your pocket, bro?
Burning a hole.
He ain't got as much money as he's making it out to be, people.
Well, it's like a year away too. I have like time to save and everything.
Well, for a Scorpio, yeah.
Yeah, it says the Bentley GT you drove to work.
Yeah, because that's
I
what
wish.
he has. Yeah, we also have, like, a Bugatti Veyron sitting in our garage. Okay.
This is
Dude,
an RC car.
It's a
He
little
always
3-inch
mentions
one.
that car
An
though.
RC.
It's my favorite car. It's
Uh-huh.
If I could own
noticed.
one car, that would be my car. Would be a Bugatti Veyron. But
Yeah,
I'll
that's
never have it.
that car is fucking crazy.
We good with the
So
news?
Yeah, well, here you go.
Anyways,
I
we're
like
now
how-
finished with the news. Back to you, GKB.
Oh, what? We're done with the news? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So.
I love it, dude.
Oh my gosh.
People are gonna
She's
know
so
that we're
salty
all
right now.
drunk.
I know, right?
But we're not actually drinking.
So on to the next topic. I am so
I am.
jelly of this one dude that we have on the panel right now. He was our insider at San Diego Comic-Con. He got to see some of the coolest shit out there, and I wish I was there with him. Mr. Asthmatic, what was going on at the Comic-Con, bro?
Dude, there's always next year GKB. We'll get you in on those professional badges for sure next time.
I'm gonna try, man.
Comic-Con, and even if you can't, being a Comic-Con attendee, or I should say just going to Comic-Con as an Xbox gamer is awesome, because the best place to go during Comic-Con for Xbox was the Nerd HQ, which was across the street, totally separate event. You didn't have to have a Comic-Con badge in order to go. Going to Nerd HQ was free. They had games that you could just walk in and play and get to talk to the developers right there face to face, and it was awesome. And that's happened every year. Xbox has usually done their own Xbox Lounge in the Hyatt that they didn't do this year. They just 100% paired up with Nerd Machine, who puts on Nerd HQ, and that was it. That was their deal. So that's where I was hanging out, spending a lot of my time. And some games I got to play that I wanted to break down for you guys were, of course, Battlefield 1. First off, walked into Nerd HQ, went straight over there. Was playing it on a PC, but just like long story short, the most beautiful game I have ever played. Like every time I walked through a house, came out into like a different part of the map, into a different area, I was blown away with every aspect of that game, from the way the rifles look to the way the tanks look and sound when you're like blowing up stuff, down to the UI when you run through buildings and your guys automatically like pushing open doors and everything. The way that your character interacts with the world is second to none. So that game was unbelievable to get to play. That's going to be launching October 21st. Then I went over the other side of the room. We got to play some Gears of War 4, which, like, I want to give a good review of as a game. I am very, very bad.
Just be careful how you
Gears of
talk
War.
about this game. You may give Fox a heart attack. So be prepared.
Well, here's the question I want to ask Asthmatic before he gets into what he was playing and everything. Did it look
Pressure
as
on.
good as the stuff we've been seeing on like YouTube and all that kind of stuff?
Gears or Battlefield?
Gears.
Gears was it was looking awesome.
Sweet.
It was beautiful. I
I
was
also-
playing in that. Go
Did
for
it look like they updated the graphics? Because they kind of talked like they had been updating them since the beta.
Yeah, it was like performance boost and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if I can speak so much as to how different it is from the beta, because there was like a couple different things where like when I played it at Comic-Con, we were running it on the Xbox One S. So obviously there's hardware differences from like whatever we had at home from that, and there was obviously like fantastic TVs which are way better than the TV that I've got here at my house. So there were big hardware changes compared to that as well to go into it, but I mean all I can say is that the game looked great and it played great, and I only wish that I played great as well to complement it.
Oh.
So so Gears of War they actually had at Nerd HQ as well as on the show floor in Comic-Con proper, because the whole Xbox booth in the show floor was full on Gears of War. Like that was it. They had the console on display, the controllers. It was beautiful. They did a giveaway.
All the goodies.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, but what I got to play that I was probably most excited about at Nerd HQ, because I hadn't gotten a chance to play it before, was Recore.
This is what I want to know, bro.
It was
yeah.
it was amazing. It was great. It's like a shooter, puzzle, platformer, and it blends the two beautifully. Because instead of it being like a hyper precision shooter where you have to like really know how you're shooting, and that's like we're used to saying, like, when you say, oh, it's a shooter, you're like, okay, your ability to shoot enemies is a major part of the game. Not so in Recore, because on your left trigger you get like a lock-on feature when you're sort of looking near enemies, and you pull that left trigger, you get like it'll lock on enemies, and then you can just sort of shoot, and as you kill an enemy it'll lock on to someone else in that area. So you're shooting and battling enemies, but your mind is more focused on the platforming puzzle challenges that you're having to accomplish at the same time.
Cool.
And that blends. So it's like if you're looking at it saying, oh, it looks like a shooter, and I'm not really good at shooters, so I don't really enjoy shooters, don't count this game out, because that's part of the experience, but not the main experience. And the demo that I played, I got to play alongside two of the side characters, and they were both super great. Mac, who's the like dog-looking guy, the guy that we saw in the E3 trailer last year, is super fun. He helps out a lot in combat. You can actually command them, like when you're fighting a bad guy, you can say, hey, like go power attack that guy that I'm locked onto, and they will like charge up and go and do a whole bunch of damage to the enemy. But the one that I thought was really interesting was Seth, who's the four-legged spidery type guy.
Cool.
Because he can actually run like up specific walls, like up the wall and like onto the ceiling in
Real quick,
like there's specific areas.
Like Seth and those other characters that you can play, do they have specific things that they can only do like in the environment? Like you were just saying, like Seth can
Yes.
move up specific parts of the wall, so he can't just go up any kind of part of the wall, right?
Yes. So Seth running on the walls was the only thing like that I specifically encountered. The way that the rep put it to me was that each character has the ability to help you in combat, and they also have the ability to help you interact with the environment. I didn't catch in the demo which way Mac helps you interact with the environment, but the thing with Seth was awesome, because I got to a puzzle section of the demo, and I'm like, all right, like I'm stuck here, I need to get over there, I don't know what the heck to do. And then I switched guys, because you can only have one of them out at a time. I switched guys, and then he was able to run over, and you can grapple onto him, and he takes you over to the other side, and it was pretty sweet. It was really good.
I got two questions for you, Asthmatic.
Uh-oh.
All right. So first, no, we're good, I
He's like
promise,
prefacing
man.
with,
Oh man, oh man.
One, how do you recover your like, quote unquote, I guess your followers, for lack of a better word, your extra robots that you have? Do you need to go back to a specific place, or do you store them? Do you swap out those cores that she grabs out? Like, how does that work?
No, so I don't know how it's going to work when you have 4 of them, but in the demo that I played, there was just the 2, and you tapped left bumper to switch between them.
Were they
You
like
just
just following you the whole time though?
Yeah, so the one that
that's
is
cool.
out will just be following you like traditional companion style, and then when you need to switch, you hit the button, and there's this like big beam of light, and the other guy just sort of like kabam, and then the other guy's right there.
Shazam!
And the other one's
That's
gone.
cool.
It's exactly like that. So like I said, I don't know if it's going to be like you hold it and you have a scroll wheel when there's all 4 of them in the full game, or if you just will cycle through. But that's the way they let you go between them. But on the topic of the cores, one of the most fun gameplay mechanics in Recore is when you get an enemy down to like there's a little notch on their health bar that lets you know, because it's different for different enemies. When you get them to a certain area, you can actually lasso like their core, and you use the right thumbstick. You pull down on the right thumbstick, and Jewel starts like tugging on it. But then as you like, they start pulling back, and the little rope will turn red, and you have to like lay off on the thumbstick, and then like they'll kind of relax, and it's this like in the middle of the battle that you're doing, where there's other enemies also attacking you. You're having this tug of war with this like boss enemy, like for like their life force. And
Is it
it's
like
super intense?
Is it like akin to like those fishing games where you can't put too much tension on the line or it'll snap? Like so you gotta like balance it out, like, but you got a bunch of other shit going on around you.
It feels exactly like that.
So my second question is, did you get to experience any of that color coordinated? I guess certain color. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So I don't have to try to explain myself and sound stupid. Did you get any? Can you explain that a little bit better since you played the game to people that are listening that might not know what we're talking about?
Well, yes and no, but really like that explanation is all I can give because I didn't get like a story explanation, like what the colors actually have to do with like the story of the game or anything like that, or if they do at all. But essentially, the whole time you're playing, you've got your rifle, and the 4 directions on the D-pad are like green, blue, I think it's green, blue, red, and white are the 4 different ammo types. Okay. And your weapon is like Battlefront style, like charged base, so you'll shoot a lot, you'll run out of battery, and you kind of have to wait, and then it'll charge back up. And all enemies are color-coded, and shooting an enemy with a ammo color that matches his color does more damage to them. Like, that's all I know. You can change ammo colors on the fly in the middle of battle because you might be getting attacked by a red and a blue at the same time. Oh, there's a blue guy. Boom, D-pad, blah, 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 shooting at him. Now he's gone. Red guy, other direction on the D-pad. Now I'm attacking him. So all I know is that different colors give you damage boost, but I don't know exactly why.
Dude, I have like a million questions that I want to ask you about this game, but I know we don't have enough time.
We don't have enough time.
It was really fun. It was an overall great experience, and I am supremely excited to get to play this game when it comes out, especially considering the fact that they're launching that game at just $40.
Oh yeah, my God, dude, yeah.
Like you're playing and you're like, and I saved $20. Like I buy this game and I've still got $20 in my pocket at the end of the day. This is amazing. I'm so excited for it.
Were you able to actually ask them if, like, exactly how much gameplay is actually in this, like, for time-wise?
I did not ask that. You know, that would have been an excellent question. I'm sure we can find out. Like, I'm sure we can hit them up on Twitter, but I did not get that information at Comic-Con, no.
Okay, I just figured I would ask just to see, because, you know, for the fact that it is only $40 and most AAA games are $60, so to find out, say if it... Yeah, well, the fact that it's only single player, but say if it had, like, I don't know, between 12 to 13 hours of gameplay, then... That's pretty amazing for what it could be done, and the fact that chances are there's going to be expansions and whatnot.
They did ask him in an interview, and he said, "I'm going to guess 8 hours or so, but I'm really bad at guessing," because he said he guessed for Metroid and he was off by a
it does.
bunch.
Like those things always depend on how good you are in terms of like picking up the environment. And like understanding the puzzles, because with your 4 companions and the different ways that Jewel interacts with the environment as well, like the puzzles are definitely going to be like it's the same conversation that we had like with Inside and with Limbo, where it's like, oh, like it's only 2 hours. It's like, yeah, but if you have a hard time with it, it could be way longer. Like it really depends because
Okay, well,
Rand says 8 hours.
Soft Serve just said that it's 8 hours, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So
there you go.
What other cool stuff did you see, Asmedic?
But yeah, so yeah, Recore was great. That'll be September 15th. That's going to be a whole ton of fun. One of the first games I played after getting to Battlefield when I got in there was a game called Deformers that I'd heard a little bit about, but hadn't really like actively gone and seeked out information on it. And it was really fun. The first thing that came out to me is like, this is the next like party title. The next, like, hey, everybody, like, I don't really know what game to play, but let's all just hop on Deformers and screw around and have a good time.
This is the Order 1886 devs, right? The one that make this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, and 1,000% different.
We talked about that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah, this, like, kind of, like, squishy, rolly, like, jelly type guys, you run around on this, like...
It's so cute.
Play this, like, King of the Hill style game where you can boost yourself across, and if you're anything like me, you'll make yourself look like an idiot when you boost across the map and miss and just soar off into nothingness. You can, like, you roll around, you can boost, you can block, which is a great mechanic because you actually turn into a block and you can't, like, move. You're just like, ha, you can't get me. And it just really, it's a simple game that's easy to pick up and get into in like one round. You'll have the controls down, but at the same time, it takes a long time to really master it and get good and understand like, oh, this is going to make me do that. And so it's a game that will be defined. The fun of the game will truly be defined by the people you play it with, which is always a great sign of a multiplayer game. And it's going to be a super fun party title. And the only thing that I'm not super stoked on is that we don't have a release date on it. From what I've looked up, I googled it again right before we started the show, and I haven't been able to find like a definitive date. They're just giving you the classic
Next year.
soon.
Yeah.
So yeah, soon is all that I've heard. But
Okay.
overall, one of the big things that stuck out to me from Comic-Con is everywhere I went where Xbox was, GameStop was also there. And
That's
they
interesting.
were, yeah, like, because I've talked about that before. It's like, oh, like, they're always, like, giving them the finger behind their back. Like, we're going to sell digital games and not let anyone do buy, sell, trade because we, like, Microsoft, the business, needs to make their money on their games. But when you went into the convention hall and went through and played Gears of War 4 at their booth, as soon as you left the booth, there was a little GameStop table right there where you could say, oh, hey, here's my zip code, and they'll find the GameStop closest to your house, and you can pre-order Gears 4 right there. And then
It's so
like in
interesting.
the same thing, like
Oh, wow.
at Nerd HQ, they had a little booth where you could pre-order ReCore, Dead Rising 4, Gears 4, and Horizon 3, and those were sweet because they were giving out posters. You didn't have to put money down when you pre-ordered. All you had to do was say, hey, like, this is my local GameStop, I want to get this game. Yeah, they get you on the pre-order list and they give you a poster. So that was pretty sweet. The ReCore poster was like the best poster that I saw.
Yeah, I
at
saw
all
that.
of-
That was like dope, dude.
all of Comic-Con. That poster is amazing.
Now, do you think if you actually go to your local like GameStop, if they'd actually have that poster for pre-orders?
I don't know. I don't know that. These ones, they don't appear to be like limited edition. Like it doesn't say, one of 500 or anything like that. So
I think I heard selective stores would have them,
Yeah.
but
some
I don't know.
I think we will be going to see Chris.
calling up all your local GMs, find out where they're at.
Any other
I want to go.
interesting things, Asthmatic, before we move on?
Like as far as gaming stuff, that was the highlight. It was great just to get to walk in there. Like the first time I walked into Nerd HQ, literally not like attendees or employees of there, whoever. The first person I ran into was Larry Herb. As soon as I walked in the door,
Yeah,
so it's
Wow.
just a really great experience that you're like, oh yeah, like I'm here. I love gaming. I want to experience this, and that's everyone who's in the trenches with Xbox and with the
fucking
developers are right
So-
there. Against it. Yeah.
Before we quickly change, I do have to ask, did you get to play Titanfall 2?
I did not get to play Titanfall 2 because I didn't
That's
dedicate.
it. Asthmatic's
like-
off the show. He's done.
I'm sorry.
Just
Yeah, why,
just
why
crushed
did
my
you go
heart.
to Comic Con?
I'm
God.
sorry. Well, it was the same thing from E3, and so like it was like at E3, all the lines for Battlefield were super long. And I was like, all right, I'm sure I'll get a chance to play that another time, and so I waited on it. But I did get to play Titanfall 2 at E3. So now when I went to Comic Con, I was like, I'm gonna dedicate my time to other games that I didn't know as much about and other games that I hadn't played.
That's awesome.
And plus, I was trying to film as much as I could around the con. So I was like, I know
Alright,
Titanfall.
I'll forgive you for that then.
Demo. I don't have to have a gameplay demo of Titanfall 2 to know that game is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
but
Awesome.
yeah, but it's
But it
the
was
best.
there, though.
It was there. Yep,
So,
they were there, and
I'm
yeah.
happy. At least it was there.
Sweet.
But the best news of all is like if you guys are you guys on the panel, anyone listening at home, if you are saying, oh man, I really would love to go to Comic-Con and see Xbox gaming stuff, even if you can't get a Comic-Con badge, but you're going to be in or near San Diego for next year's show, remember that Nerd HQ is there, and definitely remember to look them up because everything that they had there was totally separate. You didn't have to have a Comic-Con badge. It was free. And based on that data, I assumed it was going to be extremely crowded, but it wasn't that bad. It was pretty good.
Ooh, it was
Sweet.
exclusive. Now that many
Yeah.
people knew about it.
The HQ was open till 2 a.m. They had many bars. It was booze-tacular. It was a
Ooh,
fun
mini
time.
bars.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
All about the bars, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
like,
gotta
it's-
ask, did you happen to actually see the ReCore cosplayer?
I did. I didn't get to talk to her, but I did see
Oh.
her. She was looking great, and
I'm
she had
really
a
curious how she made that, because I want to make my own Mac.
Cool.
we will get in contact
You
with
need
her
to-
for sure.
Yeah, on Twitter. Stalk her on Twitter.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Be ready, girl. I'm coming after you.
I remember Microsoft tweeted out right before the show, like they specifically tagged her on Twitter who that cosplayer was.
Oh,
I'll
nice.
have to look it up.
Yeah,
Sweet.
we'll find her.
All right, let's go ahead and move on, guys. We got a bunch of other stuff to talk about. Thank you, Asthmatic. I'm so jealous.
For
You got to
sure.
play all these freaking games at E3 and freaking Comic-Con.
Woo, more videos coming to my channel soon.
Yeah,
He
man.
got
Processing
tipsy with
footage
Larry Herb.
as we speak. he was so I saw him at like 2 in the afternoon. That's but
Yeah.
Cool.
may have been drunk in a hot tub later that night.
That sounds awesome.
Interesting.
Oh man! All right, so moving on to the next game we're going to talk about, and it's great that we have 2 hardcore gear gamers on this show. So the coalition has dropped a ton of new gameplay and information related to Gears 4. What did everyone think of the new Gears 4 stuff?
Might as well start with Fox on this one.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I seen gameplay. I heard some news. I saw the panel when they were talking to the actors. I saw, story stuff, and it looks amazing. And I can't wait to play it. But some of the stuff that I wanted to mention was the fact that it's very family themed. Not only is it related to Marcus and his son, but Kate and her uncle's there, and you have to go find her mom or something like that. It's very family oriented. So I like that. That's pretty cool. And I do like the voice actors. They got a lot of great voice actors in that. So
I am not surprised
I'm really
you know
excited.
all the characters already.
Yep.
And I'm really excited for the game, and I heard some good stuff about the weapon balancing and stuff that they fixed from the beta and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool because I know a lot of people are complaining about the weapons and stuff. And
Like the drop shot.
that shoddy, the Nasher
The
though.
Shaddy, yeah. That sounds like
But
it got
yeah,
a
and
big
then
nerf.
they're gonna have new modes for core gamers and competitive and stuff like that. So I saw a lot of great things. I'm really excited.
Are you
3.0,
excited that
baby.
Marcus Phoenix is going to be the 4th playable character?
Well, he's going to be,
For horde mode, hell yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, not in the campaign. He's
No,
just gonna
no,
be
no,
there.
I'm talking about the horde mode.
Yeah, Horde mode.
Because I know,
Yeah.
GKB, for instance, loves horde mode.
Hells
Yes.
yeah. Hells yeah.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? I
More
gotta
along
find
the
out that.
lines. Well, yeah, I just mean, more along the lines of the fact that he's at least going to be in this game, so.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I was happy, excited, and I saw him when they were showing some of the campaign, his armor, his face, it looks really good, the way that they aged him. And the way that he talks, he sounds like he went through some shit, even after we last played with him on Gears 3.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, first of all, obviously super stoked that that Marcus is in Gears 4.
Heck
I am a touch sad they showed him running around and fighting in Gears 4. You know what I mean, like that. Like I wish they had kept half the mystery alive. If he was gonna be somebody running with the squad. But I'm still looking forward to it a lot. I think the weather stuff looks pretty interesting.
Oh my god, yes.
But I think September 2nd through 3rd, what is that? Is that PAX West? What's next month?
Yeah, it's beginning of September is PAX Prime / PAX West, they call it now, and they're going to have
Okay.
Horde 3.0 playable
Right,
there.
that's what I was going to say. So they're
Yeah.
going to have Horde there. So I would be shocked if we didn't get a little bit of a maybe teaser video sometime before then. So yeah, I don't know. Good time to be a Gears fan for sure.
Hell yeah, especially with all the stuff that they got. I just want it all.
Yep.
Just give me all of it.
There's definitely a
They've
lot.
done
This
they've
is like
done
a
a
Fox
great
commercial.
job marketing this game.
Yeah.
If I was at Comic-Con, I would have been drooling next to that plexiglass where they had all the things.
Oh, I know.
All the things. All the things.
All the things!
Yeah,
Yes.
speaking of stuff, there's still something I'm waiting for. I won't
Hint,
give
hint.
out names, but hint,
Inferno.
my poster.
Inferno. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah, bro. I tweeted you too, man. What happened?
And if by chance that I do get it, it's going to go beside the signed poster of art of God of War. I got that one coming in too, so.
Cool.
But
Oh shit, she's gonna make them friends. That's so weird.
Yeah.
hey, they're both GOW.
Yep.
Yep, that's true. GOW. I thought the game looks friggin' amazing. You could definitely see that they're pushing the Xbox One to the limits there. It's great to see, the resolution things, kind of going away. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool that they're talking about the performance and and stuff like that. I am a tech guy by trade. I do networking and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of interested in that. I like the effects and stuff. You guys seeing all the lightning and the storms and all that kind of stuff, but I like how they hit the ground and just moved across the ground. It was almost like a mini game in itself, to swerve past those things. I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought the physics The physics
Yes.
is like the most
Yes.
mind-blowing thing to me in
Yes.
this game.
Yes, I've been waiting to say that.
I know.
The physics are fucking mind-blowing.
I know, dude. You can like shoot
Except one
things
part.
and yeah, you
Except
shoot
one
things and
part.
it's like flying across. Oh man, go ahead, Brutal.
Dude, there's all right. I'm completely on board with you. Since I've seen gameplay get revealed about this, I'm 100% on board. The physics are the most impressive part so far to me. Call me splitting hairs, but there's this one fucking part in that new gameplay that just bugs me. He's ducked down behind cover and he throws a grenade and his arm like catapults the grenade. It's super fucking awkward looking, but that's maybe just me personally.
Wow. I was
But
like, whoa,
look
you're
at it.
fucking
Look at it.
weird.
Go back and watch it, and you're gonna agree with me. I'm telling you, it looks super fucking
Or
awkward.
we're just gonna think you're insanely weird, like we already do, and
Yeah, I
just
am
kind of
fucking
push it
weird.
off. So
I like the swarm
that's no
enemies
surprise
too.
to anybody though.
Do you guys like the swarm enemies, or did you like the locust kind of enemies back in the
The
other
swarm's
games?
cool.
Yeah, I think the swarm's kind of interesting.
Some
I'll
of the
say, well,
renderings
I don't
I've
know
seen
for
of them
sure
are
until I actually
awesome.
play the campaign, but they look really, really cool and different, like the way they run at you and stuff.
Yeah.
They look good in the campaign, but and again, the graphics and character models have received new lighting and stuff since the beta. But in the beta, they did just kind of look like microwave turds. So like,
that's a great analogy.
I'm glad that they've at least I don't know. I'm hoping that Rod Ferguson's studio head at Coalition has talked about how they're gonna bring maybe even some dead characters from older games back into the multiplayer. So I'm guessing we'll probably see some Locust come back too. So thankfully, if you don't like the Swarm, I'm sure they'll have you covered come October when the game launches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought the other thing that was really cool that they're talking about, and they're pushing like the Microsoft game store and stuff like that, and all the features they talked about, which I thought were PC. It's good that they're trying to appeal to those gamers and fix some of the issues. They're listening to those gamers. Like Microsoft's been doing. They've been listening to us a lot, and they're doing things to help us out. So I think that's awesome too.
I'm just excited to see the campaign and actually get to play it. I'm not a huge multiplayer fan when it comes to
Horde.
Gears, but
Horde.
well, I know Horde. You're
Horde.
obsessed with Horde.
Horde all day, every day.
I love
You're
horse too.
like,
Oh,
not Horse, Horde.
Oh, my bad.
Boy,
I was
put it back in your
totally thinking
pants,
about
man.
something
Wrong
else.
show.
Wrong show. I'm
Wrong
sorry.
show.
Oh my gosh.
I love seeing the gameplay though. I was seeing some people playing, and it was so weird though because the Retro Lancer, you don't start with it anymore. You got to pick it up out there in the field. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
It's basically they're swapping the hammer because was it Gears one where the hammer burst wasn't a loadout weapon? It was like a pickup. I want to
think
say that's what they used. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a
Maybe
few
it's two.
years.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, maybe that. But anyway, yeah, it's interesting that it's a pickup on a level. I actually think that's a good idea because it
Yeah.
does stop people from, or a whole team from kind of spamming it. Yeah, I'm really interested in that. But I'm also a little bit bummed I didn't have it in the beta, so we could kind of give them some feedback. But whatever,
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm stoked.
Sweet. Any other things before we go ahead and move on?
Them weather effects though.
Them weather
Let's talk
effects,
about that
though.
some more.
For real.
Them effects,
It looks
though.
amazing.
No, you know that gun that shoots the what's that thing? It shoots like these little blades at him.
Oh yeah.
I forgot the name of it.
Buzzkill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Okay. So he threw it at him, but like in front of because there was wind coming, and he shot it in the front, and the wind pushed it towards him. So I thought that was amazing.
that is-
Oh, like the curve,
it's the
yeah.
physics.
Yeah.
The physics though.
Love that.
All right,
Yeah, I
cool.
could talk about that all day. But yeah, awesome. Gears. I can't
Gears,
wait.
gears. Horde mode. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and go on to Brutal's indie discussion. Stay tuned. Go ahead and take it away, Brutal. Tell us what indie you're talking about this week.
Oh shit!
He forgot.
We got Cube this week.
Oh, the cube. The
Good
cube.
God, Cube is the cruel mistress that I've been waiting on. Cube is the mix-up of Tetris and Dark Souls in the sense that it is the most
bro.
unforgiving puzzler that I have ever played in my
Hells yeah, it
fucking
is.
life.
But it's so cute though.
It is very cute.
It's super cute. It's
That's
super
what ropes you in.
It's like a blue ring octopus. If you don't know what that is, look it up. All right, so Cube, coming from Ninja Egg, right? They launched a game last week. It's a puzzle platformer, and when I say puzzle, it is seriously like I'll give you an example. The gold medal that you can get for completing the levels in time is roughly between a minute to 2 minutes, given the difficulty of the map. I'm averaging about 14 minutes clearing some of these fucking levels. Like, they are brutal. They are brutal as hell. And GKB, I know, has been playing along. I know She-Wolf has been playing as well. Has anybody else on the panel played the game at all or seen any gameplay of it?
Yeah, I seen gameplay. It looks awesome.
You know, when you were talking about it being cute, Fox, this game reminds me of like one of those really cute kittens that you buy where you just want to hold it and cuddle it, but then when you put it down, it scratches the heck out of your couch and you just want to punch it across the room, but then it looks at you and it's so cute. This game reminds me of that. It really does.
Wow.
It's a cute and fun game, but however, the puzzle, like, you can fall off the edge with just a tap of the trigger, and it drives you crazy because you have to start all over again.
Yeah, I love like freaking hard games, and this is a fucking brutally hard game. Like, I'm sitting at some of these puzzles. Yeah, like I'm on like World 2 or whatever, and I'm like looking at this puzzle, like how to freaking do it, and I'm just like, what the hell am I supposed to do now?
There's sections where it seems impossible. Like it legitimately, I've racked up 30 minutes sitting there just giving up for a second because I started getting a headache trying to process like how to solve some of these puzzles. Like, I haven't even gotten to the end of the game yet. I'm playing through it still, and I thought I'd have enough time. It's an indie game. I'll burn through it. No, this game you get every dollar worth of $20. If you're looking for longevity in a game, you're gonna be playing this for a while. Especially if you're a completionist. Go pick it up. It's going to be a great project game to keep going with.
I do want to add in though. Well, I do want to add in though. For anyone who's looking for easy achievements, this is not the game.
Right. Yes.
Do not get this game if you just think it's a quick indie that you're gonna get like quick achievements, like stay inside or anything like that, because these achievements are not like that at all.
Brutal texted me last night when he was playing. He's like, "Dude, fuck this game. It's so aggravating." But it's so like good though. It's like it is. It's so frustrating, but you just want to keep playing because when you get through that level, you're like, hell yeah, I freaking did it, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I beat you.
Yeah. And then I'm like, the goal is to get less than 5 deaths, and I'm at like 30-something.
Wow.
My biggest thing is like I'll run through it and I'll die nonstop, like just nonstop. But then I'll restart from the complete beginning once I actually make it from like point A to point B. Just so that I can actually run through it without dying, so that I can get that gold medal.
Don't you feel like a boss though, and you can just go through and just like flip it perfectly and like
oh yeah,
the ones that are like really like difficult at first, and we'll go into a couple of my issues with the camera, but the ones where you have to climb the walls based off what buttons you press. And the ones where you have to actually change direction and wrap around the other side of the wall, because it's a fully 3D moving environment, and it's a dynamic movement as far as you need to control your camera to actually play through the level correctly, or not even correctly, but successfully. Which goes into the camera thing.
Oh, so frustrating.
I love the game. Like, I really do. Like, GKB and I have always said that, like, we really embrace that struggle of having a really hard game to get through because it's much more rewarding, and I'm sure that a lot of people feel the same way.
Citizen, we're talking to you, bro.
Yeah, Citizen, what's up, bro? But the camera only offers you 4 directions to go through, so you can't fine-tune to get the right angle that you truly want, and sometimes those preset camera angles tend to confuse the button direction. I don't know about you guys, but I've on more than one occasion pressed the wrong direction thinking I'm going the right way,
exactly.
and I'm just flipped myself off the edge of the map.
Yeah, I think this game would definitely benefit from like a free roaming camera.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely got confused a couple times when we were like up on top and like you're on these just barely enough to have your cube on there, and you hit the wrong direction because you're thinking you're looking the right way and you just fall off, and you're like, oh my god, I gotta start over.
Yeah, especially when you just got past like a really difficult section, but you're not quite to that checkpoint mark, and then you die and you have to redo that part again. And you don't even know how you solved it the first time. That sucks, because I'm not gonna lie, I randomly flipped my cube around a bunch of times because it's not just trying to navigate a single cube. The puzzles include your cube attaching to others to try to flip it, which limits your movement, which limits because there's not a lot of free space to move in this game. It's very
Limited.
linear and limited. Yeah, so they really make you. I mean, there's only one way to solve the puzzle. Like you can't go at it and attack it however you think.
And
it's
they
gonna
also
go.
add I don't mean to cut you off, Brutal, but how did you feel about the fact that, you know, with the stages being so small the way that they were, because there was at points, you know, where there would only be like 2 blocks, but then there was also bombs that were put on these blocks that you actually had to try to get past before the bombs go off, because as soon as you touch it, that's it. Like it goes off within seconds.
Yeah, or like not even like, or yeah, that, and like not even trying to get past them, but there's points where you actually have to wait and just hope that you're far enough away from the bomb, judging on how many, because I mean it's segmented, right? So like you flip the floor of each map has like that grid mark on it, so you know where you're gonna flip to, but it's knowing how far away you can get from that explosion before it kills you, because sometimes
Drives
you
you
have to
crazy
sit in
because you
that
have to
one
start all
tiny
over
little
again.
corner.
Yeah, I love.
Not even if it's explosions, gold whether it's the medal, lasers coming at that you you, can get for or some of the moving platforms where you have to
awesome.
dodge oncoming
Gears,
obstacles.
Gears.
There's a lot of elements that go into making this game very
All right, guys, we're gonna
challenging.
go ahead and go on to
But it's
Brutal's
the challenge is
discussion.
it's
Stay tuned.
rewarding though. They did a good job at trying to incorporate a little bit of like extra add-ons to the game. Like there's a little shop where you can pick up like new avatars or new
New
skins. Overall, I really enjoy the game. The colors are really drastic. I mean, you can see from the image up on the channel right now. Like the colors are really popping. It's not a graphically just overwhelming game, but the content's really fun. If you want a good challenge, I definitely suggest to go pick it up. It's $20 right now online.
It's totally worth it too.
Yeah, if you like those puzzlers, go and grab it. Or if you just want a good challenge, go and grab it, because it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, this game's definitely got the governor's seal of approval for sure.
Ooh, fancy.
Need that punch sound.
Oh, psh.
Nice.
Just put a
But,
sticker
Which
on
a
it.
bit. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Sir Tommy, who actually took one and put it on his Mac computers.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, dude, I don't think
Oh,
that
yeah.
sticker's worth $2,000, but I'm just kidding, bro.
Jerk. Oh yeah, we're gonna be giving away stickers and stuff too, guys. Like, so just stay tuned for that. That's gonna be awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. That was awesome, Brutal. Thank you for the indie discussion, man.
I was
The
Good.
name
I
of
was
the
gonna
game
ask
is
you guys
Cube.
one thing.
Sure.
Can you play it with the analog stick or the D-pad?
Yes,
Yes.
you can.
You can,
It's
but
actually better
Okay,
with
cool.
the analog.
I would
mean,
not
the-
play with
the D-pad.
Yeah, I would not play it with the thumbsticks.
yeah, go D-pad all
Go
day
D-pad.
because
Okay, I was just thinking. I'm like, what if that's way easier? I don't know.
No, I
but
tried
yeah.
that and I fell off the edge
Yeah.
more using the
Super sensitive
thumbsticks
for some
than
reason.
just yeah.
yeah, you definitely want that
Oh, wow.
controlled one flip at a time, because I mean some of them are, like I said, the direction and your what's the word I'm looking for? The way you perceive where you are in the map gets confusing at times, and you definitely want that D-pad to like just fine tune where you're moving at. Similar to like,
Nice.
kind of like a fighter,
Yeah.
because I always prefer the D-pad on fighters. But
Even though it sounds scary, but I'm interested in this game now.
you should definitely try it out.
It's super good.
It's gonna get you super pissed off though. So.
Oh yeah, it's super frustrating. Like, oh my god.
Raging.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. All right, so next up, the game we wanted to talk about with our panel is the Turing Test. This game is from Bulkhead Interactive, the same devs that made Noma Breath of Life, and I absolutely love that game, so I'm excited for this game. This game is set on Jupiter's moon, Europa, where you solve puzzles and other cool stuff and survive and, yeah, learn the I don't know, I guess the meaning of life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Meaning of life?
Yeah, I was gonna
with
say,
this,
watching the trailer, it seems like it's gonna be some deep storyline in that game.
Right?
It's gonna be weird.
Did anybody else have this like weird like feeling of like 2000 Space Odyssey, 2001 Space
Yeah,
Odyssey kind
yeah.
of thing to it? I was
get
like,
this-
"Hey Hal, what's going on, bro?"
I get the same feeling from Solus Project as well. That like
Yeah, for sure.
awkward, or not awkward, but that like kind of a futuristic, but you're survival slash like ominous type feeling that you're like dealing with technology, and then how the story of Space 2000 Odyssey or Space Odyssey, but we won't go into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest issue. Oh, are you done?
No, I got more to say about Turing Test for sure, but go ahead.
Oh, I just want to add one quick thing. When it comes to the trailer and stuff that we saw, what Fox was kind of going off of with, how in-depth the story looks, I just hope this doesn't turn out to be one of those games where the trailer has more story than the actual game does.
Well, I don't know, because I
Yeah.
thought like Numa had some really cool story and in the narration and stuff, and this is kind of similar from what they were saying. So I'm hoping they have a cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's definitely
I mean,
a good worry for sure.
Yeah, that game made me think.
Yeah, yeah, it did.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like,
Good.
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Just going to what chicken spaghetti's commenting in this section in the comment section right now,
it
and
is an actual
that's
test.
kind of what I was moving towards. Is like the Turing test is based off of he's considered the father of like modern like computer sciences, Alan Turing, and your character's name is Ava Turing. So the protagonist and the Turing test. So there's obviously parallels being drawn between that, and he's right. Like the Turing test was to see if an AI is self-aware, and part of the tagline of Turing test is or part of the description of like the overall plot of Turing test is you're going through these tests to prove if you're human or not. So I'm wondering,
is she AI? Hmm?
that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering is that like foreshadowing to where like
Yeah.
you're gonna find out you're an android at the end, and she's not like she's self-aware,
self-aware,
but
yeah.
she's not self-aware enough to the fact that she knows that she's an android. There's gonna be like this like coming to Jesus
I don't
moment,
believe
or
my own blood.
Isn't that kind of like a movie? What movie was that? We watched it before where
Ex
this
Machina.
guy. What?
Yeah.
Was it Ex
Ex Machina.
Machina from
Yeah.
last year?
mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think so. Where that guy had like those
females.
android girls that he was making, and the
Yeah.
one didn't actually know.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wish I could be that guy.
that was a really interesting movie. So if that's kind of like the same theory that this game might have, then it's definitely looking into. I'm actually curious what Asthmatic and Bear have to say because we haven't heard from them in a little while.
Yeah, you guys been quiet. What's
He's
going
been
on?
mute mode.
Yeah.
Go Bear.
Sorry. I'm always cautiously optimistic, especially with Bulkhead. As you said, Numa is an okay game, and they've got Bulkhead's also making that. Oh God, what's it called? It's a World War II game. It was on Kickstarter earlier this year. It's it's one of these
1944?
Yeah, something like that. And so it's interesting, right, to see. This is the game before they make the game that they required everybody's money for. So I'm
Right.
hoping that they can deliver a solid game before next year to kind of keep me optimistic. But the concept is interesting, so
Those are all
I'm
fair
looking
points,
forward
man,
to it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What about you
my-
guys, Mick?
My quietness, I think, just stems from that. I don't know that much about this. Like,
Oh, that's
obviously,
okay.
look through the article, look through, watch the trailer. But it's like you said, like the interesting things that you guys have to say about it are like things that you've looked into it and grabbed back. But for me, I'm just like looking at this trailer. I'm like, oh, this looks like an interesting puzzle game. But I want to see a little bit more of what. I want to see a little bit more of like what the developer is wanting to give me. Like, what are they actively trying to put forth through this game? So we'll see.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I thought like Numa was like a great game that had some really awesome puzzles. And it looks like we're gonna get a lot of this in the Turing test. But what's really cool about this one is, Eva, she's gonna have like this. I guess it's like an energy weapon of some sort to beat some of the
Oh, yeah.
puzzles. But I'm also wondering if she's gonna be able to use that on like some of these robots, these like creepy robots that are kind of like in the game too. Like, is she gonna be able to like
Yeah,
shoot
just-
those and
well,
whatever?
I'm wondering like
Maybe. It seems like they're just watching you though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like
In the
maybe
trailer.
It's really
they're
creepy.
like watching on like she's part of their family. Like, go beat it, prove them wrong. Like, you know.
I'm so proud of my daughter. She's making it.
Robot dad.
In the corner, just like, go girl, you do your thing. And I think that like Numa, and from what I've seen from this game, it's not I mean, it's definitely a puzzler, but it almost lends itself to kind of like that those like escape the room type games mixed with some Portal action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm saying Portal is an influence just because it's this futuristic like robotic facility that you're in.
I think the look and aesthetics too is kind of similar.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
But
thought about Portal when I just saw the trailer. I didn't even read the article until after I saw the trailer. Then I was like, hey, they mentioned Portal. I'm like, okay, so I wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the game, man. The graphics actually look really, really nice, and I'm thinking
I
about
thought so too.
I might do that for.
Is anybody else like worried though? Like, the whole game's gonna be like this white industrial level through the whole thing, kind of get a little bland and boring. It's almost like cold and heartless in a sense, with just all that white.
I think
I
that
hope we
lens.
get to see other.
I think it depends how they portray it, because think of there was a game that we recently completed that was that seems almost kind of similar to this one. I'm trying to find the exact name. Oh, QUBE Director's Cut. That I don't know if any of you guys actually remember that game, where you're like this guy who something was going on with space and he was trying to like contact his family or something, but they were keeping him in these rooms and you had to do these puzzles to get through each room.
I can't say
Oh.
like that.
I don't remember that game.
Not sure.
Yeah, not sure. No.
Well, I know GKB played it. It's with all where there was like different color codes that you had to put in to actually get the rooms to open to the next room.
I can't remember which one it was called. I know which one you're talking about now, but I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Sorry.
No, it's called Q.U.B.E.
Oh, okay.
But either way, mainly all the rooms were white, and but the way they portrayed it, it made sense. So you didn't feel like you were just stuck in just like a standard no face kind of room. It actually felt like what you were in was the type of environment that they put you in. So it didn't feel out of place, and I'm curious if this game is going to have that same kind of feel, where even though you're going through it, they'll add different little things into it that will
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Like,
give
she
the
will too.
reason to why it's these colors and actually feel like this should be that way, and
Right.
it won't feel different.
But like in Numa and this game, like Numa was like you were in like these different rooms and they looked, you were outside, inside, and all this. Where this one's kind of like you're stuck in this like test area, and where you were talking about that other Cube game with the colors and stuff, that kind of broke up a lot of that that white and everything else. Whereas I didn't really see a whole lot of color in what we've seen, but I'm sure we've only seen like probably the first level or something, so we don't know. But that's kind of my worry. But yeah, you're right. Maybe there is some other cool stuff there.
I'm thinking that it could potentially. Go ahead, Fox. Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing, girl.
I was just gonna add to. Oh God. I was just gonna add to what GQB was saying about the color of the room and stuff. But in a way, I feel like that kind of goes with the theme, since it's about robots and stuff.
Yeah,
they
I
don't
agree.
have personality, so it's supposed to be that way.
But do they?
I
Do they?
feel.
That's the whole
I
point of the
mean,
Turing
I-
Test.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's the whole thing that
that's
it'll
what-
come down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting out of it later on. I guess either it would be nice if you hear your character like notice a difference and want to see a different room and get out of there and not feel comfortable, because then you'll know for sure she is human or robot or whatever, or
I mean, if you-
android.
If you take into account that the game's based off of a moon, one of Jupiter's moons, you're already going to have that desolate, isolated feeling. So I think that that bland and quote unquote bland, or whatever you want to say, that all white, like hyper clean, like hypoallergenic, like environment, to where like you tend to associate with like robotics facilities, or like when you see like the place, like the factories where processors are developed, like super clean sterile type environment. I think that's going to lend to that feeling.
Germs are going to kill you, people.
Yeah, they are.
That's awesome.
That's why all of you
out.
people need to get your kids vaccinated if you haven't. But we'll go into that in another section.
Or you know.
That's the next part.
I think it just lends to that feeling of disparity. I mean, from what I've seen, she's alone, right? So
Yeah.
I think that will force that feeling of like both a slightly ominous feeling that you're being watched with these tests you have to go through, and knowing that you're on a moon in Jupiter. I think it all lends together to create like the perfect environment for what they may be trying to project. Because Numa even has that kind of weird, ominous feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but it looks nice and fancy though. At
It
the same
does.
time,
It
it had
does.
nice like pearl whites and
It's
all
like
that.
I was in a mansion and stuff. It was like
Engaging visuals, yeah.
sweet.
Very
This
Well,
feels like the
it-
kind of thing that'll get old after level 4.
The makers of Numa also didn't they make the games Myst back in the day? Those puzzle games Myst?
I didn't
Yeah.
go to the
Didn't you
bar.
guys
Well,
ever play
see,
those?
the thing about Numa though, that kind of puts you in like the gods of like Roman time kind of feel with
Yeah.
everything that they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, it seems like they're gonna. It's definitely a drastic change in environment for sure.
Yeah.
But they've
But
always
I'll
done a
give-
good job with capturing that feel of the game, though.
That's what I was just gonna say. You know, I give the devs the credit for the fact of, you know, they actually put you into the mood and the scenes that you need to be in to actually go through each puzzle and get the sense of what you're doing and where their story is leading.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
From what we see, yep.
Sweet. All right. Awesome. I'm pretty excited for the Turing test. It looks pretty dope. But let's go ahead and get on to our last topic before we get into bears. Then we're going to take some questions. Great show so far, guys. It's fantastic. Thank you all for rocking out with us. It's amazing. But next, onto a game that we've kind of been down on lately. And I'm going to be freaking honest right now. I thought this campaign trailer and gameplay looked freaking pretty cool. And that is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Somebody get her some water.
I have to avoid this game for like 2 weeks just to win a bet. So I'm going
If
to
you're not gonna
hate
win.
and despise it until the 2 weeks is up.
She will
So
caught a hairball on that one.
We'll be right back after a short message from
She will. I think you told everybody about that bet. Just
Mm-hmm.
saying.
So
I
what,
know I have to.
what did y'all think of the gameplay trailer? Well, since She-Wolf, got this thing about this game because of
Yeah.
me. What did you think of it,
You go
She-Wolf?
first.
I didn't watch it because of this.
Oh my! I didn't say you couldn't watch anything.
Oh
my gosh!
She don't do no homework. I'm not doing homework.
Oh,
I'm the new mooch, people.
that's it.
I don't watch this. I don't
Detention
watch
for
this
She-Wolf.
stuff. I just go with the flow. No.
Oh,
Dude,
damn. She called you out.
I thought I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest, because I mean, I think like a lot of people, we've been kind of disappointed with the way Call of Duty's been going. I mean, there's some people that enjoy the futuristic move they've been moving towards, and they kind of said it's going to be mixed between boots on ground, blah blah blah, whatever they're going to. Because everyone's concern was they're going to fucking space, like what the hell, but. This trailer or this new gameplay kind of lent itself to more of a boots on the ground feel for the campaign until the end. But
I was gonna say, isn't there boosting though?
I didn't see any.
We didn't see.
boosting.
Yeah, we didn't see any in this. One.
As far
Oh, I
as
thought
boots
that
on the
was
ground thing
confirmed.
go, I mean, but eventually the gameplay does lend itself to move into outer space, and I think that moment is where they picked up on in the E3 gameplay footage where they were actually all in space.
Yeah.
I think this is like the prequel to that. I think this all lends together in probably the same mission. That's what it looks like.
And to be
me.
fair, too, man, they're doing some creative like editing and stuff like that too, because they're getting a lot of hate for this game, and so they're probably being really cautious about what they show in the campaign. So they're probably showing parts that's like boots on the ground, to get that player base back into the game again.
Yeah.
Right, and I think you're exactly right. I think that especially following E3, although Activision has done a lot of spin control, I think that there's no way they didn't notice that everyone's like, hey, we want boots on the ground. So I think that we'll actually see more boots on the ground than space stuff in the next months as we approach launch.
You're
just
probably
because they
right.
know that's what people want.
Yeah.
But I did see, I don't know if this is related to the trailer, I just saw it separately. But I saw they're remaking Modern Warfare 2's terminal map, but putting it on the moon with
on a
the
moon
rocket
base,
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bomb.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, yeah, this is why I don't want your game. But yeah, no.
Terminal is such a
Yeah.
classic map too, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I love
Oh,
playing
yeah.
Terminal.
Same.
I used to snipe on there sometimes. That was fun.
Beast mode.
The premise and like what they've set up, the universe that they've set up so far is interesting to me. So you have the FSD, which is the Frontier Settlement Defense, which has been launching these attacks on Earth basically. Now what GKB and I kind of got into a discussion about like what caused this to happen, and what I think is there's this a new age civil war where it's not a war within a country, but it's a war within the planet. People are wanting to leave. I don't know the premise of why they've colonized space. I don't know if they're giving a reason, as if the cliche Earth is running out of resources thing, or if this is just the next step in human exploration. But
Well, that's kind of a thing that what's going on now. You know, we hear tons of like NASA and everything going on about how like eventually we're all going to be able to live on Mars, or we'll be able to go back and forth and all that kind of stuff.
I learned my lesson from Matt Damon. I don't want to live on Mars. For the first, like,
Yeah.
He
That's a bit
survived
rough.
though. But
Yeah,
you know,
but he had to launch out of an uncovered space capsule to survive. Spoiler alert, but
that is true. You know, I do have to say though, from the actual trailer, I'll give them credit for the stuff that they did with this space, where you could actually like, you know, you go through like different planets, and the detail that they did put into the maps that are used when you are up in space, I thought was pretty awesome in the gameplay. So
Yeah, but like when you were up in space, like, all right, so I enjoyed the gameplay all the way up to the point where he got into the jet, and then I was like, oh, it's going downhill from here. And then when you get up into space, it looks like he's on rails, like you're not controlling the jet, which they kind of led us to
Yeah.
believe
I'm okay
before.
with that, though. I'm okay
Well,
with
they were like, oh, you're gonna have space combat. You're gonna be able to do
only
this, that, and
reason
the
I
other.
say that, though, is because I wouldn't be able to progress through the campaign if I was a free flying ship. 'Cause
I guess
I'd
that's
fuck
true.
myself up all the time. Like I'm the worst at jets in Battlefield. But continue. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I mean that's just the whole thing is like, you know, they're leading us to believe that, you know, they have like the space combat, but it definitely looked like it was on rails, at least as far as the campaign's concerned. He was literally just shooting, and it was all being controlled by, you know, the game. So I was
Yeah.
kind of disappointed in that.
Yeah, like the accuracy with which he was like flying between all
Yeah.
those
There's no
other
way.
ships. I'm like, there's no way. Like, I don't care how many times that guy sat at the
Yeah.
dev office and practiced that. Like, there's no way.
That's what I told GKB too, bro. I was like, that dude is either on rails or he's the fucking master pilot, dude. Because he was
Yeah.
killing that thing.
Yeah.
and you're talking about like when they're fighting up in space, right?
Right.
Like we're not
Right,
gonna
yeah.
actually be
When
able
he
to
took off.
freely move around space.
Well, that's what they. Well, in the
We
plane part.
Yeah,
think
well that's
that,
what like I mean the jets and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
From
Well, it's the other thing that comes up with me though is like you say like, oh, well, ever since they first showed space and they got a bunch of backlash, people said they wanted boots on the ground, and now that's what they're showing. Like them doing that now is one thing, but it's only going to make it worse in the long run if the final game doesn't also reflect that
Right.
that heavy presence of boots on the ground. Like if it's like, oh, like we showed you like this, here's like what you want to see, like people fighting like regular, like what you're used to in Call of Duty, and just a little bit of space combat. But then if the full game is still just completely full of space combat, then you've only pissed your fan base off even more.
Like if that first like is like the intro, and then like that's just leading you into the rest of the game where you're fighting
Yeah.
this frontier defense the whole time in space.
Exactly, that would just be horrifying, and it's just like you've stolen money from your fan base at that point because they said they
Here's-
wanted one thing and you just
Here's
teased
what's
them.
gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you guys the entire plot of this game right now.
Sweet.
You're gonna get into
Cancel your
space.
pre-order.
Fighting. You're gonna hit a fucking wormhole, and they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, Battlefield's doing it the right way," and you're gonna wormhole back into World War I, and that's where the game's gonna end. Game over.
Wow, that's
That was
But
real
it's going to
deep.
be
Right,
World War
wow,
One with all of the new
interesting
tech that you bring with you from this game.
Yeah, you're just gonna fuck everyone up, like, and that's the end. That's how the world ends. That's what this game's actually about. It's an apocalypse game. Everyone's been missing the point.
okay.
Mind
Okay.
blown.
Yeah.
How much have you had to drink today?
Plot twist. I've only drank like 4 beers since the show started, so
Since
Since the show started.
an hour and a half.
So,
Yeah.
I'll just throw my 2 cents in here about the game. I saw the trailer. I didn't care at all but the game does look good though, which is weird. I like the way the gameplay looked a lot actually. I'm still not gonna play it or like get it or anything, but it looks better than what I thought. The whole beginning of the trailer or the gameplay per se. When they went up to space, I was expecting some Ace Combat, Halo Reach like space battle. It didn't seem that way to me. It was kind of odd, like you said, like he wasn't really controlling it or something. So I thought that was kind of weird. I would have liked some Ace Combat or some Halo Reach type of space fighting actually.
I could dig that.
But yeah. My brother's probably gonna pick it up because he thinks it's interesting and different. So I'll probably just sneak a peek and watch him playing it on
You'll
the
play
PlayStation.
it. You'll play it.
Do you know me?
Do you know
Yeah,
me?
I know you. Trust me. I
It's
know.
partially
You don't know
it's
my
like,
life.
My
even
biggest
if you don't want
issue,
to, it's partially our responsibility to play it. So
truthfully, when it comes
That's
down
true.
to it, though, this game, I just think there's still too much going on.
Well,
Like,
good.
Too
Finish
busy.
Finish your.
yeah, like it's just very busy. Like I was watching the gameplay trailer of the ship assault, and there's just so much going on where they jump out of the ship and then I guess gravity just isn't like a big point in this factor because he was able to move around quite easily on like the top of the ship, and it's
Got,
just
like, boots or something.
Yeah, probably some
yeah.
magnet
Well,
boots or
it's
something.
just
They'll write something in so that it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. I'm
Grab
sure-
boots, nerd.
Duh.
Good.
Come on,
Duh.
dude.
Everyone has
Time.
grab boots.
Exactly. I'm just curious how they're going to actually pull everything into where it's not just cluttered. That it's not just
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, like okay, you're in a ship, the ship gets attacked, and then oh my god, now people are fighting on the ship. And it's just, I just think there's a little bit too much. So it'll be interesting to see how it actually all flows in together and what actually tied it all in together to begin with.
That's an interesting point, though. Like you're kind of correct. Like the first campaign, like it's like, oh, we're fighting through the streets to get into the ship and leave. But well, what about the rest of the Earth that's being attacked right now? Why are we leaving? And kind of like that. But I don't know.
Abandoning.
Yeah, we're just bye guys, have fun. We're gonna go take on these ships out here.
Every man for himself. Okay,
That's
like,
kinda-
we're such a wonderful army.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah,
It's
it
interesting.
seems a bit weird and confusing, I guess. But I think at the same time, it is a sci-fi person slash they love combat. Wet dream, basically.
That was
I'm
great.
just saying.
Oh, that was awesome. Cool.
I got a question real quick about
Go
this
for me.
game. It's more of like a wish. All right, so I'm seeing like one thing that really stuck out to me in all the gameplay I've seen so far is that anti-gravity grenade that they throw in like in the E3 trailer. Do you think that's going to be broken? Like, do you think that's going to be a broken mechanic on like in multiplayer or whatnot? Do you think it's just going to be overpowered to the point where it's going to get nerfed? Because I really like that mechanic if they can do it right.
Well, is that grenade gonna be in like the multiplayer? I don't know. Like some of the stuff in the campaigns don't make it into the multiplayer because that's why it breaks the multiplayer experience. So I don't know.
Good point.
Yeah.
That feels like one of those things that will be super broken at launch, and for the first 2 weeks, the whole community is just gonna be like, "This is so insane!" Like you just play half the game, and somebody gets these grenades, and then it's game over, and then it's gonna get nerfed way too hard, and then be completely useless, and then you'll forget about it, and the rest of the game will normalize, and then it's like, all right, now it's just Call of Duty again.
Yeah.
Rinse
Cool.
and repeat.
Anybody else want to talk anything about Call of Duty before we move on to Bear segment?
I'm just gonna say Call of Poopy one more time.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Fail because Titanfall 2 comes out before it.
I will say though, it does look good graphically. I'm gonna give him that.
Does look good.
Yeah.
Gameplay
Whether or
is up
not
in
it
the
was on
air.
PC or not.
Yeah, we don't know, but I will give him it did look good. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Bear's segment. He's got an awesome freaking review for us, so stay tuned, everyone. All right, Bear, go ahead and take it away, man. Give us this review.
Sure. So really quick before we delve into the review, I want to touch on that this is Rivals of Aether. It came out on Xbox One last week through the game preview program. So I'll talk about some things in the review to make this clear. but it's not a final version of the game. So just kind of keep that in mind as we get going. But let's kick off the review. Running down the stairs in your pajamas, blowing in a worn-out cartridge, giving your friend the wonky controller. These are the feelings of nostalgia developer Dan Fornes wants to remind players when they pick up Rivals of Aether. From the retro graphics to the character and stage design, Rivals of Aether is overflowing tribute to Super Smash Bros. 64. It's not a ripoff or a hack job, it's a genuine tribute, and it's a damn good one, too. And that's kind of my intro, and first and foremost, this game is, if you took Super Smash Bros. That you played when you were a kid, and you mixed it with Pokemon, this is what you would end up with.
What?
So there are these characters that are kind of based on, there's 8 characters right now. I'm not sure if they're going to increase it when it leaves game preview. But they're all based on different elements. So there's fire characters, there's water characters, there's wind, there's earth. And they all kind of interact differently within stages and kind of have different unique attacks. And it, frankly, it makes for a pretty decent game, if not a little shallow, in the current game preview. One of the things I wanted to touch on is that controls are different for each character. Like, of course, kind of like Killer Instinct, there's heavy and light and kind of dodges and stuff. But there are also key mechanics that change from character to character. One of the things I really liked was there's a water character, Orcane, which is kind of like a killer whale. And she can throw down a puddle in one spot in the map, and then at any time later on, she can just teleport there if she gets knocked off the stage or whatever. And like, it's a really unique and different way to play, and it's cool because like, if you master one character, you have somebody else to fall back on that you haven't tried, and it kind of added to some longevity.
That's cool.
Yeah. One of the things I think people care about when we talk about Super Smash Brothers like games is how multiplayer works, right?
Absolutely.
So locally, it can go up to 4 players. It can also do computer bots, just like you would on Smash back in the day. Online right now, it's currently 1v1, and they do kind of casual and ranked, and it kind of works that way. I thought that locally worked really well. It was really fun. It's as fun as the people you're with. Let me put it that way. Right now, online is peer-to-peer, and like any game that's peer-to-peer, it's definitely got some lag. Unfortunately, at least in the current state. Just before I keep going, do we have any questions?
Actually, I do. To quickly ask, when it comes to the graphics of this game, now just for everybody to know, can you answer, is this like a standard what we've been seeing lately when it comes to indies, like just for example, We Happy Few, or Sea of the Song of the Deep and stuff like this, or is it actually one of those straight up kind of 8-bit graphic look style games?
Yeah, it's absolutely retro in design. So it looks and plays probably 8-bit is probably okay, 16-bit probably. It's definitely 2D fighter. Characters are 2D models. It's not like Smash where they're 2.5D. It's definitely very, very old school in the way it looks. But like all of the HUD elements, like even when you're on the menus, it looks like the menu that you had in Super Smash Bros. 64. Yeah. Like and again, like it doesn't feel like you're just playing like a poor man's Smash. It feels like they do enough things where like you can tell it's meant to be like the game, but they do their own thing to kind of change it up. But yes, it's very much retro in graphic design, for sure.
Okay.
One of the things I want to talk about that makes it a little bit different from Smash is that there are no items, and that's what a lot of people like about Smash, and I like that about Smash too.
Yeah.
Is that it becomes a more competitive experience, kind of like Killer Instinct, but with up to 4 players. In that items can sometimes, especially in Smash, can totally change the pace of the game, right? If somebody gets that hammer in the last seconds, it doesn't matter if they're about to lose; they just won the match, right? If they knock you off.
Yeah.
But that means in this game, like if you don't have raw skill, you'll get trashed, especially online. And that's definitely something you should keep in mind. Like if you don't like the randomness of Smash, then like you'll definitely feel at home in Rivals of Aether, for sure.
I really dig the art style, and it looks like really fluid mechanics. Now, is there any, like, from like your experiences playing, is there any like OP characters right off the bat that people kind of gravitate towards?
Not online. Everybody does have a favorite. There's a character I like. Oh God, let me see if I wrote his name down. Zetterburn, and he's like a lion, has a fire mane,
Right.
and he has this burning damage when he hits somebody. And I've noticed that late game, he can like if somebody's like Smash, you build up a percentage of damage, and if somebody gets like 80+% of damage, his fire attack just makes it so it's like insanely easy to bump them off the map.
Oh wow.
But no, like things are pretty well balanced.
Yeah, pretty balanced.
All things considered, like it's all about mastery. Like this game champions people who learn mechanics and who master the controls. Like you can go in and button mash, and if you're playing against other people who button mash, you're gonna have a great time. But if it's somebody who's got practice versus you just have a buddy over who never plays video game, you're gonna whoop their ass.
Yeah.
That's how some fighters just are.
When I was looking at this game, man, I was like, I was glancing at a couple of the images, and I swear I thought some of them were just like from Smash Brothers. Like it's just eerily similar.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And this is like a tribute game, right? It's not like they've like stated that that's what they wanted to kind of do, kind of thing.
Yeah. So the guy who made it, Dan Fornes, he actually created a fan project called Super Smash Land a couple of years back. And then he worked with Microsoft, I want to say, on Killer Instinct for a little while before coming to work on this game in 2014. So no, he's definitely been around fighters a while, and like it's very much intentionally meant to be reminiscent of Smash.
That's awesome.
Yeah, to say the least. Things that will be in the final version but aren't currently in the preview, so I can't talk about it. They have a story mode that's supposedly coming, and something called Abyss mode, which I think is like Horde meets a 2D brawler, which seems cool if that's your type of thing. Or like survival mode in Killer Instinct already. But yeah. One of the things that I talked about in my review, and I'll just touch on this briefly, is that I'm a lot younger than I think pretty much everybody on this panel. I'm 20 years old, and so I grew up playing a lot of Smash with my brother, and like that's actually what made the game hard to play, just because like it really taps into this nostalgia, right? Where like it's really bittersweet because it feels just like what you remember, but on the same token, you kind of wish you were playing Couch
Smash.
Pop with the people you grew up with.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, but no, as a game preview thing, first of all, I think you have a half-hour trial. I definitely recommend people at least do that, but I think it's $13 in its current state on game preview. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I stand by that. I think it's a really solid game, especially for game preview. If you like Smash Brothers, I can't recommend this game enough. I'm really, really excited to see where this game goes the next 6 months.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it looks really fun, man.
Yeah, it looks super fun.
For sure.
Awesome.
But yeah, one last thing, I kind of touched on it. One last thing. Before you do buy it, I seriously, even if you think it looks great from the screenshots and videos, do play the free trial that comes with it, because it is a little bit janky. The controls don't take full use of the D-pad, and that kind of bummed me out. And so you really should try the controls before you're willing to drop $13. I'd hate to pressure someone into buying it and then have them be bummed about the controls. But other than that, that's it. I'm a big fan of the game.
Man, it looks dope. I wouldn't mind actually picking this up and playing it for a little while. Looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, the price
Fox
point's
probably likes it because it has like a Pokemon style feel.
Oh yeah.
Cutesy little characters.
Ain't
They
nothing
do
wrong
look
with
kind of
that.
cool. That's awesome. Any other questions for Barry before we move on? Nope. Cool.
Nope.
Thanks,
Your
Barry.
review was excellent on your blog, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks.
definitely-
Yeah, I didn't want to read it verbatim, but yeah, I'm proud of that written review. So if you want to see that, if I haven't bored you to death yet, you can go to my blog at bearclawgaming.com and check out the full review there if you really want to fall asleep.
Yeah. Check out his
yeah.
other reviews too. They're awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank
Let's go ahead and get into some questions from the chat. Did you grab any yet, She-Wolf?
Yeah, actually, I got one right here. It's
do it.
from Predator, so big shout out to you, Predator. The question is, the 1 terabyte and the 500 gig both have bundles. Do you think that Microsoft should give something to the 2 terabyte owners who are paying higher price tag for them?
To be pro-consumer, yeah. But that's kind of the thing they do is like, hey, here, you want it now. This is what you kind of got to do to get it. It's just the way it is, I guess. I don't know. Like, if you're really worried about like getting those games and stuff like that, just wait for the other ones. Like, I mean, I feel your pain, but like for me, I don't want to get the less terabyte ones because I've already have those games. Like I don't, and
That was my thought.
yeah.
Truthfully, I think the bundles for the lower consoles are actually probably to push more towards
People that don't
some
have
of
it.
the some of the people who don't have those games, but at the same time, I think they're still trying to get the rest of those 360 gamers
Yeah,
to
the
come up
casuals.
because they're not going to have like say per se Halo 5 and obviously they're not going to have the Master Chief collection that way. They're going to have the 360 versions. So
Yeah.
this would obviously bring up those 360 players because let's be honest, there's still a lot of them out there, and
Yeah.
with these price ranges. These are kind of just giving that little extra push to, hey, come on over and we got something else for you to try. So
Yeah, the main thing that comes to my mind is that if you're the consumer who's super excited about the 2 terabyte, that's because you've got a lot of games that you want to have installed all at the same time. And if you have a lot of games, chances are that you're already the guy who owns the games that are in these bundles. So you're not like,
Very true.
you're not like, oh, hey, I need Halo 5 for free, as part of this bundle because you probably already have that game.
If anything, I would say they could throw. I mean, if they don't want to throw in a game or anything, they could just throw in some EA access. I mean, if they just want to throw a little incentive in there, like
Always
a
a
year,
good deal.
that would be
that's
nice.
what that's something I wish that the Xboxes would actually sell with them, that Microsoft would actually bundle with it, is like, say, 3 months of like EA access or even a year just, to pull people in for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Anybody else, or you want to go and move to the next question?
There's a pretty good question from who's that? I'm sorry. Chris Weddis had a pretty good question about. I don't know if we've answered this before or not. I know
I don't
we've
think
talked
so.
I know I've talked about this like in person with a few people, but
Go ahead, give us the question, bro.
his question, Chris Weddis' question was, if Microsoft could partner with any Telltale, or could partner with Telltale to make a game, what franchise would you like to see Telltale make a storyline for?
Ooh.
He's
And
talking
then
like
he
first
has,
party games,
I was gonna say he has like examples like Gears, Halo, Sunset
or
Overdrive,
published games.
Rise.
For me, I would really like to see Telltale make a Fable game.
What about a Splinter Cell one, bro?
Well, it's not really. I mean, yeah, back on the OG Xbox, I guess, but now it's kind of like multi-plat. So, honestly, I'd like to see the Fable franchise get like a nice little story. They have like a deep world, deep lore, and all that kind of stuff. I think that would fit pretty well with Telltale.
I'd like to see like Halo has so much untouched lore behind it. Like if
Yeah,
you
for
read
sure.
the books and stuff, like I think Telltale has plenty of material to make a game with that people would find interesting, because a lot of Halo's actual lore is actually really interesting to read if you ever get a chance to read any of the books.
And that would also be an interesting new way to explore that lore, because we
Yes.
have obviously the games and the books and some live action stuff, but that's A, B, C, D. That's here's a story, here's a thing, here's this character, whereas we haven't had a sort of a choose your own adventure. Okay, what would you say? You pick the words that come out of Master Chief's mouth or whoever. And that would be most interesting.
I'd like to see them incorporate more of Dr. Halsey's whole
Like side story, backstory.
her whole role in starting the Spartan program.
I want to see her later stuff too, because that was one thing that bugged me a little bit, is that there's like in the beginning they're like, oh, she's so cool, like she's like the kind of the mother of the Spartans, she started the project, but then you get to Halo 4 and everyone thinks she's evil and hates her, and if you only play the games you don't really know why, whereas that is explained in the books.
Yeah, exactly.
So things like that would be really important for them to fill in for the game only fan base.
Sweet.
Also, I think Telltale could flesh out Arbiter. I don't know if any of the books touch on this, but Arbiter between Halo 2 and Halo 5. Like, just kind of flesh out some
Yeah,
of
what
that.
happened between there? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's such a rich character that,
Absolutely.
again, only gets, like, probably 30 minutes of dialogue each game, and I think that'd be a cool thing to flesh out.
Totally
I'd like
on
to
board
see
with
them
that.
explore the onboarding of the Flood, like the Flood's origin, like where they
That'd be
actually.
cool too.
So definitely Halo.
Halo, for sure.
That sounds
Yeah.
so scary. Yeah.
So here's just a what?
No, I said Halo 5 different ways. Like, not just Halo. There's
yeah.
every one of
5
them
different ways.
ideas.
Five different,
Yeah.
five flavors.
So here's a quick question, kind of more directed to Fox. How many Pokemon did you catch this week?
Oh my god. What? Who asked that? I need to know.
A lot of
Antonio.
Pokemon catchers.
Hey, what's up?
Antonio's
I don't
been
know.
live in that chat all show.
I lost count, but I got a real good one today. Real powerful.
What you get?
What do you got?
Oh man.
You set it up. You gotta.
And
You
she
gotta
has no
deliver.
idea the name of it. There we go.
Great. Now I'm like
Oh,
thinking,
sorry.
damn it, what was the name? Flareon, I think.
Oh, what?
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
I've been
and
trying
it's
to
like
evolve
over
an EV to that shit.
1,300 and something.
5 EVs. They're the most friggin'. I swear, I find them everywhere.
Yeah, I have each one, and that's my most powerful one, and I'm happy because it's fire, and I love it. And my friends keep telling me to call her Foxfire because you could change the names of them.
Oh,
That's funny.
But yeah,
Here's
other than that, a whole bunch of randoms and stuff, and yeah.
Here's a cool question.
Everywhere.
Since we kind of were talking about the NX today, the Game Filter is asking, is anyone getting the NX on the panel despite the recent announcements? Hell yes. I'm getting
No.
it.
Well, I don't have a choice. If he buys it, then I guess I'll have it. So,
I'm going to get it, review it, unbox it, and tell everybody what I think
Return
about
it?
and then sell it.
No, what you gotta do is get it and then just play Breath of the Wild, and then you can return
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
If you do that, are you gonna make a video about reboxing it?
Absolutely. This is how you repackage it.
Catch GK being a world first.
Rebox
A reboxing video.
Store.
That's funny.
He could just tell that's a new thing. That's gonna be a new trend. Reboxing. When you send something back because you're so fucking aggravated with it. Like, this is the part oh, this is the part that pissed me off the most about this thing. As you're shipping it back into the box.
Oh, man.
this piece of crap. You can find it on eBay right here for 3 cents. 'Cause that's what it's
All right, let's take a couple more questions before we get out of here.
Okay, one question
Ooh,
from.
Mike's got a good one.
Oh, well,
yeah.
then say it out.
I'm
What's-
itching about that.
What's your thoughts on the Street Fighter 5 Xbox leaks? Do we think it's coming? What do you guys think?
Hype over 1 million if it's true.
That
So-
might.
I was salty that they went exclusive with PlayStation when it first launched. So, I mean, I like Street Fighter. I'm more of a Mortal Kombat fan, but I'd be down with that if it's true.
Yeah,
Always-
interesting.
We see a lot of that now. Like, we're seeing like timed, exclusives. I think even Capcom's done it. So, if I was gonna go ahead and be like, yeah, I mean, definitely it's a possibility for sure. I hope we also, when it comes to the Xbox, we get all the DLC and everything for one price. So that'd be kind of cool.
It's a cool idea, but the problem with this is anybody can Photoshop nowadays.
Yeah.
So
there's
to
no-
take a box and put it into GameStop or Amazon, and heck, even Amazon, you're actually able to make posts and put them on whatever you decide to put on. So
Absolutely.
anyone could have made a fake post. GameStop, yes, that one is a little harder because it's GameStop, but you can still Photoshop something easy enough to put it in.
And to your point, She-Wolf, too, somebody's 3D, what is it? 3D printed the NX controller a while back, and it was this big, huge thing,
Oh, God, yeah.
So, anything's possible for sure.
So when it comes to this, yeah, it's cool, but I don't want to get my hopes up thinking that this game's coming and then it's never going to be there. So I kind of wish these leaks would stop unless they're actually true, because half the time these get taken down so fast that it's okay, well, that's not actually happening.
Yeah.
Right.
If it is true, I'm really excited about it because I'm personally not really into fighting games, but it is, I feel, a gaming subculture that doesn't get enough love nowadays. So console exclusives, I would like to see lifted a little bit on that, and I want to see as many fighting gamers as possible have access to as much stuff. It's if you love shooters, you're always spoiled for choice, but you don't always get as much in other areas. So.
But bringing this
open
game, could it hurt the fact of Killer Instinct? I know it's not really going to affect, say Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat alone is its own big franchise, but Killer Instinct, that's exclusive just to the Xbox, so...
Well, we also do see a little bit of, and again, like I said, I'm not really entrenched in this subculture myself, but I feel like, from what I do know, that fighting gamers are more I'm this franchise. I'm this franchise. And so I feel like it's a little bit more of saying, like, if you are a diehard Killer Instinct gamer, then like that's what it is. And the fact that you now have, you know, another Street Fighter available, or if, you know, when there's another Mortal Kombat and stuff, you're not going to like, okay, well, I'm just going to play whatever the newest thing is, and I'm going to uninstall the old stuff. It doesn't work the same way that it does, like, say, in the shooters, where it's sort of, this is cool, okay, but this is newer, so now I'm going to play that instead. There's more loyalty, at least as far as I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think it depends on the person, though, because a lot of people I know grew up with Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. So, I mean, definitely for me, if it does come over to the Xbox One, I'll think about it, because I've already thought about it for the PlayStation. So I'll think about it, and I want to see what kind of content they're going to give me and price point, depending if I pick it up or not. But I'm still going to play Killer Instinct, because so far that one has stolen my attention from Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat that I used to play on the 360. So, I mean, there is a lot of different styles, like you said, for fighters. I mean, even Tekken is coming out later on and stuff like that. And there's a reason why places like Evo exist, you know? So, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We got one more question, She-Wolf? I got one.
Yeah. Styx says, I'm pretty sure that used to be what the fuck?
WTF stick figure?
Yeah, but now it's just Stick. I think he changed his name. So, either way, his question is, are you confused with Sony's direction within the console marketing rights now?
As in referring to...
Is he talking about Street Fighter? I mean, or...
Well, when I first read it, it kind of came to me about, like, the Neo, like how they're marketing the console itself, but...
Well,
We haven't heard
are they really
anything new.
marketing it at this
I was going to
point?
say that. I'm like, are they?
Well,
Yeah.
it could be the lack of, then.
Well, here's
talk about this every week.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like, this is kind of goes to that other question that I had. Look, Sony's gonna be fine. Like, they're coming out with the PlayStation VR. They're gonna have some momentum coming up in the next couple of months. You know, they have the Tokyo Game Show. They're gonna be showing some stuff. We're gonna see more stuff there. Like, as far as confused, I don't know. They're not really showing anything. They're not putting anything out there. We're just like, hey, the Neo's coming, kind of thing. Just kind of like the Scorpio. So we just gotta wait and see at this point.
Yeah, we'll see.
It kind of goes along the lines of the NX. We're waiting. We're seeing. Who knows?
Here's the thing, too, is like, you know, we're on the Xbox camp. We love Xbox, but we need Sony. We need Nintendo. Like, competition is good. It promotes good things in the industry as far as games and all that kind of stuff. We need them to all do well. So it's just what we need.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sweet. Any other questions? Are we done? Let's get out of here.
I think that's pretty much the gist. It's 9
Sweet.
o'clock anyways.
All right. So we're going to announce the community game time. We're picking the game this week. And it's going to be, since Saturday was so fantastic, we had a lot of cool stuff. We're going to do Battlefield 4 again. We're also going to rent our own server. We're going to go shoot everybody. I'm going to get shot a lot and die all over the place again. But it's super fun. I had a blast talking with everybody. Thanks everybody on the panel and out there that came out. It was super fun. But all right, we're going to go ahead and end the show. It was a great show. Love talking games. We had a great panel tonight. Shout out to everyone jamming out with us tonight on Twitter, out in the chat, on the moon, wherever you are. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. Thanks for rocking out with us. I'm going to go ahead and start with Bear. I know he's probably got to go. He's kind of on a time limit. So what's going on, bro? What can we see you doing this week?
Yeah. So I am reviewing Hyper Light Drifter, and as I mentioned before, We Happy Few. I plan to have those up hopefully by the end of the weekend. I know I'm doing a bit of traveling, so that deadline might get pushed. Otherwise, I've got daily updates on my blog, bearclawgaming.com, with news every single day. If you haven't checked it out, I'd love to have you. Otherwise, thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for sitting through my review. I know it's a little bit dry. As always, I'd like feedback, positive or negative, so we can make the show better. Just thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate that.
Awesome. What about you, bro?
Yeah, man. As always, I had a freaking blast. Thank you for everybody coming out and watching. If you have any games that you're interested in on those indies that you want to see an indie discussion, please. I'm always taking suggestions. I love discovering new games. It's the point of the whole segment. So please send them over my way, either on Twitter. You could find me. It's the same name, Brutal Knight. And as always, find me on Xbox Live, and come play some games with me, man. I'm always down to play anything that I have installed at the time. So.
Heck yeah, man. Always down to play games with everybody. Actually, we played a couple nights with a couple people and everything. It was fun.
Yeah, man.
Let's go with Asthmatic.
What's going on? I'm gonna go get some videos edited. I've got a whole slew
Heck
of
yeah.
footage from Comic-Con that I haven't got put together yet. I got a whole bunch more stuff from the Nerd HQ that I'm gonna be throwing up for you guys, and I haven't talked about it much yet because it's still a little bit ways away, but I will be doing the exact same thing for PAX. Be playing some Horde 3.0, bringing you some more Gears of War 4 footage.
Heck yeah.
So we'll be getting that going. But thank you guys so much to everyone hanging out in chat. We love you guys. You come out every week to support this show and all of us, and we couldn't do it without you. You guys are the best.
Heck yeah. What about you, Fox? What's going on? Who are you going to be shooting tonight and every other night, whatever you're doing?
Who's dying in Iron Banner tonight?
It's Iron Banana.
Iron Banana, get it right.
sorry.
I'm gonna be hanging out with my friend Dragon. Happy birthday, Dragon. He's in the chat, by the way. If you guys
Happy
didn't
birthday!
know.
Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah, he's a cool friend, and we always game every night, or I mean every other night.
I remember
But
Dragon. He's a cool dude.
I know Dragon.
but yeah, check out my latest videos. That thing has more plugs than Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And
Got me dying
you
laughing.
guys can follow me on Twitter, and yeah. What else? Oh yeah, and thanks to Mandy for the awesome remastered logo. I love it.
Yeah, it's super dope. What about you, She-Wolf? What you got going on? Do I need to start another?
Hello, what?
Do I need to start another podcast for this?
That's brutal. I swear to God, his is longer than mine.
Go for
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
You're gonna have this great outro, guys. Sorry, I ruined it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you,
Do it again,
you
do it again.
killed it.
Come on.
You killed
Take
it.
two.
I'm gonna go British.
Take two.
No,
Remix.
Wow. So good.
wow, just wow.
Can I get that sound clip
Anyway.
after the show?
Anyways, all right. So first, happy birthday to Dragon, as always. And of course, you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Xbox. You can find me on Gamers Knows Best. You can find me on Xbox Nation tomorrow, which is fun, cool, and just crazy with Crap Gamer and all of them. So check that out. You can find my article on icxm.net. So check that out. It's all about the community and everything that's going on. I have a very interesting article that's coming out very shortly, so make sure you check that out. Yeah, shut up. I knew that was coming. I'm like, if I say it, I know damn well he's gonna say something. I knew it, but
She's gonna throw you a broom.
Yeah.
oh,
for sure.
I know it's. Anyways, so
Sweet. And I'm GKB, aka the freaking governor. You can find me on Twitter and YouTube at Gamers Knows Best. I want to thank everyone in the community. You guys are freaking fantastic, and we thank you so much for supporting us and all these great people on the panel and all the other freaking YouTubers out there. We love you all. Don't forget to come out on Xbox Nation and Shop Podcast, where we'll be on every week. Thanks, guys. Take care of your fellow gamers, and we are out.
Squall.
Later, team.
Bye.
See ya.
just say cacaw.